So, boom.
What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome to another episode of Collection. We're a very special
Man.
edition for Michael's birthday. Man,
Listen, hey
we
everybody,
were
good
yesterday, dude.
to
And it
see
was
everybody in the chat. I'd like to say, thank you to everybody that reached out. I was getting texts quite this afternoon, but most importantly, I would like to thank my brother and my co-host Gabe. What you do, dude, means so much. I don't know if you realize how much that touched me. I mean, all these people are reaching out saying happy birthday, and I see what you did for our special, and it means a lot. Little things like that, man.
oh man, of course, of
So
course. And again, it seems like we were just doing your
I
birthday.
know
It feels like
exactly.
this year went by so fast.
Yeah, so I'm 53 years. I mean, 35 years young.
Yeah,
I know
man.
y'all are saying, "Damn, he doesn't look 53.
So
He looks 73."
53, man. No,
Yeah.
man,
So how you doing,
good,
Gabe?
good, good, good. You're just running around. I've been working on something all week where it's pretty much on the last
Look at
stages.
that, guys. Look at that.
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, I went with the weathering from kind of the archives. I'm still on the first pass, so we'll see how it all turns out. But it's yeah, man, this was such a fun project, and I'm just it just I had a lot of fun with it. So
Man, it's
I'm really
amazing.
excited.
Absolutely amazing.
I'll have a bunch of like little tips that I could post just from little learning curves from the build that I'll post because I was gonna record my whole build, but I immediately realized I was like, this isn't an easy build. Like it's
Yeah.
hard, and just sitting there filming, I would have filmed for hours and hours and
Yeah.
hours, and it's just
That's
pointless.
that's
So
crazy.
so now I'm just gonna do like a little I guess tips, right? So yeah, man. But it was fun. I really enjoyed this. I'm really proud of it so far. So
You ought to be proud of it. And it's so cool too, because it's your favorite ship
yeah,
and you built it, you know?
yeah. No, it's been cool, and it's the first time I got to like just learn like little things that are gonna
Thank you,
help in the
Jimmy.
future, like the water slides. Never done water slides. It was my first time. Love
Hmm.
it, man. It was kind of so easy. Thanks to Joseph. Joseph was really helpful as far as like tips on how to put the water slides on, and then
You'd
and
never know on the other side that he's actually, an artist,
yeah,
because he doesn't, I don't think he's so hard on himself when something comes in broken or
yeah,
whatever. He's so bothered. It's not like you can't fix it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But yeah, to every single one of y'all telling me happy birthday, that means so much. Thank you. Thank you so much, Janine, Scott,
Even Jose.
Lizzie, and yes, Sean Solo. Hey, so I was talking to Sean
Yeah.
earlier today, and he's like, "You know who Sean Solo is, right?" And I'm like, "No." He goes, "It's me." I'm like, "Oh shit!"
You're like, what?
I did, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's good to see everybody here.
Reviews. Scotty, what's up,
Thank
Scott?
you, Brian.
Back hit Peon.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah,
are awesome.
it's me. Like, nice. Justin, what's up?
Thank you.
There
Appreciate that.
you go. Darth Wizzy Wizard.
Yep.
Sean, what's up? What's up?
Hey there.
Janine, what's up?
Hey, Janine.
Pete.
I called you today, Pete. Just gonna see if you wanted to hop on with us. We
Yeah.
missed you because we wanted to do something really cool with your awesome, Halloween masks and stuff for
Yeah.
Halloween. So But yeah,
And Michael, have you always had that Vader in that pose?
yeah,
It's always been in that pose?
yeah.
Oh, I love it, man.
Thank you, buddy.
Looks great.
Yeah, he's going to be in the restaurant. He's one of the few things that are going to go there. That's
For sure.
Yeah, it's here. You know.
Yeah.
So
Cool, man. Yeah. So what's been new, man? What you've been working on the restaurant? I know that.
yeah, we've been super busy. Some really cool things are going on the last couple of weeks, and by next week the whole place will be dried in. We've had a little bit of weather and wind, so man, my light's flashing here. I don't know what's going on. Hang on one second. Give me one second.
I'm just gonna show kind of the
Yeah. Please.
the structure there. Yeah, it's getting there. The frame's up.
Yeah, we got the frame up, and we've been working on the on the fun stuff. Yeah, there's all the stone that showed up.
Hello.
So, guys, so y'all can see right here, I do a quick video on this actually.
Yeah.
So I can just talk them through it.
Yeah,
So this right here, this is the back porch area right here. And it's going to be about 30 foot by 15 foot. Those will be stone columns here to your right. And there's the open bar that will access inside so you can get drinks on the outside. And these two posts right there, that's going to be an indoor, right there. This is going to be an indoor dining, like a back room, kind of like a little private little back room. So looking this way to the left is going to be the bar. We just built the mezzanine, which will be VIP, which is what I'm pointing at right there. And if you guys see right there in the front, that's the floating platform for the Wampa. So it'll have just two cables that'll go up to the center beams up there.
Yeah.
That was the most exciting thing, is building my Wampa platform this week. But and what's really, really cool is we were going to eventually, the plan was to put an arcade room in there, and we just didn't have the room.
Mm-hmm.
But we did find room underneath the stairs. So there's enough to do right here. It's funny, I'm not even talking about the restaurant side. I'm just talking about all the fun shit. But
Yeah.
that's where the arcades are going to be. There's going to be enough room to do 3 arcades, maybe 2 arcades and 1 pinball machine, because I love pinball.
Now which arcades are you going? Obviously, just right, the attack of the Death Star. Was it destroy the Death Star?
Yeah, I'm not real sure yet. And then real quick, this wall and that wall, that's a total of 70 feet, and it's 20 feet heights. That's going to be where all your prop replicas are going to be built in the wall. And that's a big 14 by 14 front opening. And this is going to be a front patio area that will be private and won't have access unless you come into the restaurant and go in there. It'll be real like a beautiful garden with waterfalls and stuff. It'll be badass.
That's awesome, man.
So yeah, that's a great question, Gabe. So I don't know. Definitely, I think that one of them, just because I wanted to have Galaga in there.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if maybe to do Pac-Man, or I know they have some of those stand-up machines, the new modern ones that can play a couple different versions, but it would be cool to have some vintage arcades in there.
What about pinball? You gonna do a pinball or not?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's room, I think, to do 1 pinball in there, because I love pinball. Yeah. So, but hey, Kelvin, thank you so much, and thank you, Left Coast. I like what you're putting out, Left Coast. That's pretty cool. Your Falcon release.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, so this is it, and this will be the front porch area. Walk in, but you'll see a lot of. Thank you so much. You'll see a lot of, change in the next few weeks. But it's cool to see where we're at now. It's been a concept for so long, right? And now we're actually there. And today I was out there by myself, and we have a really cool nature creek that goes a creek bed, dry creek bed that goes through the back of that you'll look down off of the back patio.
Yeah.
And I'm making it really nice, clearing out, the brush and stuff. I just enjoy doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's cool.
Going along, man. Yeah, that's really cool. And then the DeLorean, you started the DeLorean. I think you might have posted. You posted some pictures on.
I did. Yeah, I posted last night, and I am gonna, through. I think me and Lee or a couple of the guys were talking about it, but I definitely am gonna put together a. This is the mock-up right here. That's an awesome bumper, man. So I do have all the taillights, the centerpieces, all brand new for it. And you can see the tires and wheels in the background in between there.
Yeah.
So yeah, Brandon, he's doing a really good job on this. So hopefully within the next week, it'll be all mocked up with the axle that underneath it. And hey guys, I've talked to a few people. I talked to Joseph earlier, but one thing that I'm really struggling with, first I found out about this DeLorean,
Mhm.
and I was inspired by it when Lee sent me an Instagram post of this one that's done in this bar in Chicago. And respectfully, now that I'm in it, seeing that one, if you zoom in, it's not accurate even by any means, but it's still badass, right? But I can't not do it. Look, I've got you and
Yeah.
all you picky bastards. So, you're giving me a hard time if it's not 110%. So that being said, I'm really struggling. I got the thrusters, I guess you would call
Yeah,
them.
like the
Yeah, those are
consolidated.
badass and very accurate. But all the little greebly parts, like the center hubcap
Yeah.
piece for the center, Danny at DMC California DeLorean there has been pretty helpful. They build, obviously, out of the gate DeLorean time machines. But if any of you guys know of somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that that might know, who's into this, because it's real top secret bullshit. It's kind of like the
Yeah.
studio still guys, they don't want to give out any information, which is a bunch of bullshit. So
Yeah.
I'm going to figure it out, and it's going to be 110%, and I'm not going to have 100 grand in it, which a lot of these people wanted to charge me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, Gabe?
Yeah.
So if any of you guys know, I reached out to a guy in the UK. Hopefully, hear back from him. And I did contact somebody in Florida, but nothing. Crickets.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, once you get into that level, right? Because obviously those are super high end collectibles at this
Yeah,
point,
for
right?
sure. For sure.
Hundred something $1,000.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna be super secretive about it. I'm sure even with like the internals, right? Like all the like the circuits and like the
Yep.
circuits and things like
It's a
that.
lot of aircraft parts. And I've watched, I don't even care if these are watching our show. Yeah, hell no. No. He's just trying to get me going.
Oh,
So,
look.
so me and Sean were talking about that today, like part two.
Yeah.
It's funny because I went inside and it was actually on, and hey, Marcel, and it's like I don't even know what y'all like about part two. I mean, it's not. I can't even sit down and watch it. It's that
Oh,
bad.
God.
But anyways, seriously though, this guy that Bob wears these suspenders and everything. You know what? I'm pretty positive and don't like to badmouth anybody, but that's one of those guys who's like, this is like top secret shit and won't. He shows on his YouTube videos
Is it?
him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, yeah. So he's a DeLorean builder. He's one of those.
Yeah,
He converts those.
he's done like 40 of them.
Yeah.
And when I told him what I'm doing, he doesn't take me serious and just kind of blows me off, and that pisses me
Yeah.
off. You know what I mean?
I think that's who you're talking about, right? The shop,
So,
the Texas one.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scott, no way, that guy. I've tried several times, and he's like, if we did it, we'd have to do it in my shop. And I'm like, no problem. Once we get the car done, I can take it to you and you can do the back end conversion. No worries. But, he just doesn't get back to me. And so, you know what? Sorry, Lee. But yeah, it's like, golly, man, I would help people. You know what I mean? If somebody needed it, it's like, what is it going to hurt, to help me, give everybody that's come to this restaurant a really cool experience. It's not like I'm making money on that piece or something.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but anyway, I can't wait to get it done, and it's going to be badass. And I'm going to make sure they know I got it done. I'm going to show it on display.
Yeah.
In their name.
Well, yeah, that's a thing, man. I mean, it's unfortunate. I mean, it goes with a lot of professions are like that, right? The whole gate being like, they try to hide all the tips and the secrets and like, just like how Lee would not tell me about his
yeah, for sure.
thing,
Totally cocksucker. But anyways,
gatekeeping,
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's just kind of funny though. I don't understand. It's not like I don't know. I don't want to say. But this is the funniest thing about it, though. I'm just going to say that, and then we'll switch subjects. But most of these people copied other people's shit, anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and yet they have that information and don't want to give that information out. You know what I mean? So
Well,
I know it's like
I mean, it's a replica of something. You know, I mean, that's
yeah,
they just happen to find the parts that that
yeah. But
belong.
it's not like I'm saying, hey, will you send me those things for free? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm wanting to buy these parts, and build
Right.
it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Again, man. Yeah. You just never know. That's why. So that's the thing. Like, I think that's what's cool about our little community and all that is that we're really cool about just sharing everything, right? Like, I actually just I saw a post recently where this collector basically, I mean, mimicked my setup here, like the helmet setup, which is fine. A lot of people have done it, and I've put
shit ton of people.
I put YouTube videos out there showing people
Yeah,
exactly what to
and
do.
people respect you for it, though.
But yeah, so he gave me credit. He was like, it was an inspiration from Gabe Stars. I was like, all right, that's really cool. So I think it's we're trying to help each other out, and there's things
Hey
that we're
guys,
getting
hey,
inspired by.
hey guys, behind closed door, Gabe's really like all these some bitches are copying me. I'm just kidding. He's not at all. I'm just
Yeah,
these bastards.
right.
I remember calling you like right after I met you. It wasn't too long. I was asking you about, hey, where did you get those? Those are cool.
Yeah.
And yet I find out just a couple of weeks ago because your high res cameras that they're brown. I still don't believe that.
Yeah, they are brown. I mean, you can kind of see them.
And hey, so far from that's why I'm reaching out to all you guys because so y'all know I'm not techie. I don't get on Facebook. I don't do all that stuff. I don't do the RPFs. But if one of you guys can, reach somebody that might know, that would be fantastic to let me know. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Best of boys forever. That's exactly right, Jeff.
Best of boys. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think I commented that on that guy's post. I was like, welcome to the best of boys. Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing. Look, it's not like, I mean, it's a well-known part. I mean, the bestas are used by collectors across. It's not like I invented this, right? But
Yeah, for
I think
sure.
it's just the way, like with the single helmet, with the downright stacked things. But I mean, that's something that anybody could have eventually figured out, right? It's not like a huge secret, right? It's but
Thank you, Left Coast, for saying that. And Stuart, thank you very much. And yeah, for sure. For damn sure. So hey, check this out, guys. So last week I showed you that two-legged. So all the Mandalorian stuff's starting to come in through Hot Toys. So check this one just came in.
oh yeah, the bike, yeah, nice.
It's pretty nice, right? It came with a little the little Grogu.
Yeah, that's really.
But you know what's so what's that?
That's really cool.
It's pretty reasonable priced, I
Yeah.
think. And what's really cool about it is when they build these, it's hard to tell in the picture, but all these little things, the way these work, I mean, it actually is like it works. It's like they designed this thing to, you know what I mean? It like if you lift one, like one goes one way, it turns. I mean, it's like designed to fly. It's really really cool.
Copyright. Can you hear me, Michael?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Darth Rizzi, 400 plus Star Wars. Oh, they found. Remember we talked about that where they had lost all those vintage figures.
No.
So yeah. So there's apparently some collector sold this other person like pretty much mint inbox, a bunch of vintage figures, and I think it was UPS or FedEx lost them, just straight up.
I think I remember hearing that. Yeah.
It was like something. I mean, it was like 40,000 or maybe more than that, but it was like a lot of thousands of dollars, and FedEx wouldn't pay out, and they're like, "No, we're not going to pay." Well, apparently they found them. That's great.
Oh wow, badass!
Yeah.
I bet the people were real happy.
Imagine. That's the thing. That's what I'm always nervous about with shipping, right? Because a lot of the stuff that we're getting, it's not about the money, right? It's like, okay, yeah, they could pay you whatever you paid, but a lot of it's like rare and like your early bird, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like, man, it got broken. It's not about the money. It's just now you got to go and try to find another little box.
Yeah, I was a nervous wreck on the McQuarrie Vader coming.
Yeah,
That was a scary deal.
You know how I get too. I get like,
Oh yeah,
super,
yeah,
like,
because you don't get your shit gets lost.
yeah. I'm like, wait a second. It's like a week late. Like, what the hell? I'm already calling them and throwing a fit.
If there ever comes a time, if I'm ever selling anything, I don't care what it is, how small or how big,
Mhm.
they're gonna have to come get it because I'm just not.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
No way.
Um, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's just the shipping thing is always just nerve wracking. So
Yeah, Darth Wizzy, can you imagine like this Superman man costume going for sale, and it, you know what I mean? And
the prop store stuff that's like
holy
quarter
crap, dude!
$1 million, and all of a sudden, but I mean, I'm sure they would pick it up. I would hope they would pick it, or they would do like a drop freight,
Yeah,
drop shipment.
yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, I've had a decent Star Wars week. We talked about this, and I talked to Lee about this too. That I got there's the last couple weeks I kind of got like Star Wars out a little bit, just like
Yeah.
the postings and stuff like that.
Yeah, we all get that.
And but then I got a new little like excitement just from little things like finishing the T16. That got me pumped up again.
Yeah, that's
I picked up the EFX Boba Fett helmet because Sideshow's having a special on them, like a deal, and I had a bunch of points. I was like, I'm just gonna buy it.
what was it?
The EFX Boba Fett helmet.
Oh, very cool.
Um, and that's direct lineage from the Empire Strikes Back casting. And then remember I told you that the Lola, that little the Lola little figure, the little hamburger looking thing from Kenobi, Princess
Yes.
Leia's little thing.
Yeah.
I had sent away for her from that Star Wars universe for her autograph, and they were kind of lagging and lagging and lagging.
I remember you were saying that.
Yeah. I guess they finally got the signing done. So I'm excited. I think that gets shipped out this next week. So that's going to look really cool to kind of display her little autograph with the Lola.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, man.
Speaking of, like my hot photo here.
Oh, no. They can't. Surprise, Michael. We didn't get you strippers.
Oh, damn.
Strippers.
Okay, hang on. Let me sit down. I'm ready. Go ahead.
69
I want to see some photos.
Oh, man. That's so funny.
Pete, did you get that helmet?
I mean, honestly, it's probably the best helmet to get, and it's really only $400. So I mean,
Oh, wow.
not that bad. But yeah,
That's weird. You just did that other review with the Hasbro one. How many Boba Fett helmets do you have?
there's 3 right there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Those are the only 3 kind of licensed helmets, right?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, RS makes one, right? That they did. A lot of makers out there making some that are not licensed. They just paint them, right? But these are the 3 licensed ones.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean, for the
Thank you,
price
man.
and everything, you kind of can't beat it. It's really good.
So are you digging like where we're at right now in Andor?
I love that show. I know some people are like, it's slow. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think Star Wars needed to slow down a little bit. You know what I mean? Especially
Yeah.
after the sequels where it was just like nonstop, like
Mhm.
effects and action. And then freaking Mando was good because it goes up and down. But then like Boba Fett, they try to do very like weird action scenes.
Yeah,
Nice. It's nice to like slow it down. Let's get some character development. Very THX 1138. These last episodes, I love that. With the jail, like the futuristic prison.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was sad, right? When they put him down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously that the main dude, he's starting to turn.
Yeah.
Shit's
Yeah. That's what I love. I love that little anticipation, right? Because they build up these storylines, and then you get a big payoff.
Yeah.
So like in like the first few episodes, right, getting to the heist, it was like slow, and then you get to the heist, and the heist was great. It was a good payoff.
Yeah.
And now it's back down, and now he's in jail, and it sounds like they're gonna rebel in there, right? So it's like a slow pickup, and then they're gonna do a big revolt, right?
Man, there was some crazy like sexual tension with that chick, wasn't there? He's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
he likes her a lot. And she's like, if you one more time, I'm going to have you arrested. He's
Yeah.
like, talk dirty to me.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious how that character is gonna kind of develop. I mean, obviously he's
Yeah,
gonna be some type of general, I'm sure, right? Or some type of
yeah. And you know
imperial.
what? I'm going to tell you guys. Y'all know I'm not into the cartoons or animation, whatever. But I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
It went over to there, and I didn't change it because I was messing in the kitchen,
Yeah.
and I was just kind of watching, and I was like, "Damn!"
Yeah.
So, and I started watching every one of them.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. That's what I thought at first. I was like, I'm not into the cartoons. But when I started watching Clone Wars, like the cartoons, especially that last season, man,
pretty
I
good.
mean, it really is like that. Where because and it's not necessarily like the storyline, yeah, sure, the storyline's great, but the facts of the characters that you're learning, right? You're getting so much more information about some of these characters, like
Yeah, yeah,
Obi-Wan and Anakin, and you
yeah.
know, so obviously
I
now Dooku.
Yeah, yeah. I remember Denise like reached out, and she was like, golly, this is for kids, because I think there was a few scenes that were pretty serious,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Well, yeah, I mean Clone Wars, that's it's serious. Like, it's not really for kids.
Yeah. Hey,
For
Pete, I just want you to know Denise keeps blowing me up about the Astros. Are you
oh,
sweating right now?
the Phillies scored.
No, she's excited. Well, it's 3-1 Astros.
Oh, the Astros now are up.
Yeah, it's 3-1.
Oh, like right now the score. Oh
The
man,
score is right now. Yeah, yeah, the score is 3-1.
wait, are you guys Astros fans or just Denise?
I'm not, dude. I'm not that guy that just it's
Yeah.
on. You know what I mean? But Denise is. She's from Houston. She's always been an
Oh,
Astro.
gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
She
okay.
used to go to the games with her dad and stuff. So.
Oh man.
Yeah, yeah. So she's excited, but she doesn't watch it normally. She even played baseball. She's
Oh, it's 1-4. Yeah, this is an elimination game. So if the Astros win, that's it.
yeah. Isn't that crazy?
They win. World
Eagles. That's hilarious. Yeah, Eagles. That's actually my son Indiana's favorite team is the Eagles. My
Yeah.
Cardinals are sucking. But yeah, that's I've been really enjoying that, and I think I'm tomorrow. I might just start from Andor beginning and just watch. It's cool when you can. That's what I like about the Netflix stuff is like when the Cobra Kai comes on, you can binge watch that shit.
Watch
And having to wait a week sucks. I know there's some people that wait till the whole thing is done with the Star Wars. I've
to
heard,
watch it.
but they're not real big fans either. Those people. So.
I mean, it's almost impossible to do that because as soon as you jump on social media, then it's like there's all these spoilers after a few
Yeah.
days. Like, you can't really do that.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
We
man.
scored again, she said. Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
What else was I gonna tell you? I forgot. There's something I was gonna bring up.
Hey, I didn't tell you about the R2. So we're doing an R2 for the Yoda and the Luke,
Yeah.
the swamp version, and he's working on the head now. So hopefully in about 2 weeks
Yeah.
we'll have the swamp version R2. That'll be really cool. I'll be showing everybody that.
Yeah. 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 I mean,
Astros suck.
yeah.
He's pissed.
Yeah. Might as well put it in there, right? So you're gonna make it all muddied up, and you're gonna make it all
Yeah, it's going to be accurate muddy.
nice.
Yeah, and this guy's pretty. I was telling Joseph earlier, he's like, you don't just muddy it up; you have to muddy it in layers. But he's going to go off of the screen accurate,
Yeah.
look. So and
Yeah.
it's pretty muddy from the bottom of the feet, like a foot up.
Yeah.
It's pretty muddy. And then I've got Izzy, who's going to be, he's going to because it's not out there, but the charger. So Jens brought it up to me and somebody else. I don't know if it was Lee or some, but so the lamp, the charging lamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna cast it off of the Hot Toys 6 scale one
And then make it big.
and make it life size. So it'll be pretty accurate. there's really a few good reference.
Yeah.
So I thought that'd be cool to have that.
I got.
So.
I'm going to be working on a new project. Let me show you what I'm going to be working on. It should arrive this week, and then it's going to be with original parts. So a lot of the old vintage original parts.
That's huge right now, isn't it, Gabe?
Yeah, no, and it's fun though. It's fun like trying to finding the parts as they come along. So give me a second. Let me take a screenshot. Let me send it to you really quick, and then
Molden, thank you. And actually, so tomorrow is my official birthday, the 6th.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
So check it out, Michael.
Yeah.
I'm going to be working on that after I finish the T16. And I didn't know. So I've always wanted the life size Rancor button, right? And I was hoping Regal Robot would do it. But they've been kind of just lagging on some stuff. So
there's some 3D print ones out there though, huh?
Well, this one's casted from original found parts. So I didn't know that. So that middle part right there is actually from a tank, right? I think it's let me see. It's called a
oh, that's cool.
SEKF Z222 Leichter Panzer whatever model.
Panzera?
Yeah, Panzera Panwagen.
Hey, so are you talking about that has all the angles and stuff?
Yeah, that middle part is actually a model. It's a model.
Oh yeah, looking at it, you can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll post all the information about it. But yeah, so this is all casted from like donor kits, and then the orange lights, they're vintage orange. Those the indicators. So I mean,
what size are those indicator lights? Do you know about how are those about 1.5 inches? Do you know?
They're bigger. I'll tell you once they show up.
Because let me. You can't really. If you can put me on the big screen for just a moment.
Yeah.
These right here, Gabe. These are all from the film that Sean Sides did these for me.
Yeah.
And these are the exact ones that they used in the film when Luke and Leia are swinging across the deal.
Yeah.
Those are the exact same ones.
Yeah, these ones are a little bit different. Yeah, I know exactly which ones.
Yeah.
These are a little bit different because they stick out a little bit further out.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I see. So it's a smaller, like taller bubble. That's exciting.
But yeah, I mean, I always thought this was such a cool, just like a prop replica that could easily just be put anywhere in the room, right?
Yeah, and Jens
I'll probably put it by the Rancor.
I'm sorry. Yeah, the 6-scale Jabba the Hutt palace that Jens did for me.
Yeah.
He did that in 6-scale, and it lights up and everything. We just haven't hooked it up yet.
Yeah.
Thank you, Johnny.
Thank
you. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So like I said, it's been a couple of Star Wars days recently.
Yeah.
So
very, very cool. So I got my book that the gentleman that we had on last week. He was super cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my book should be here in, I don't know, maybe another 3 to 4 days.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm excited to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
I was gonna say I got something from Back to the Future Part 2. I got a replica of the cane that Biff has, with the little where he hits him on the top of the head.
Yeah.
So yeah, Joseph and I picked that up. So it's shipping, I think, hopefully.
Has he tried to pop on yet or not yet?
No, he said he was going to pop on in a little while.
Okay. Yeah. So that being said, Joseph was telling me about the guy that does an accurate somewhere in California. He does the accurate remote control.
Yeah.
For the do you know what I'm talking about?
The
Doc Brown's remote for the DeLorean.
Oh yeah.
That would be
Joseph-
cool to have up on the wall by the DeLorean or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Like hanging out, like
Yeah.
or some shit. No.
Lee just sent me these because he got the Emphas Nast from Ben Huckabee.
It's very nice.
And it came out really nice. I mean, this is just like
A lot of details, right, on the top of the head.
oh man, look at this. Yeah. It just I wanted it, but there's just no way. I was talking to Lee and he said it's about 2 feet from the back, right? So where these metal looking things stick out. So just to display this thing would be right here, like so you need at least 24 inches wide to
Yeah, it's
fit
a
that.
lot.
And it's like, man, you're gonna have to display it individually somewhere, right? Because you can't really put it with other helmets because then it's gonna stick out so far.
Right. It's got some crazy colors on it.
Yeah. Oh no, Ben did such a good job on this.
Yeah, Stuart. Now, I don't know if you watched our show last week. We had a gentleman from France who created, to date, one of the best vintage books out there, and that's the book that I ordered. You got to check it out if you're into vintage. It's a really, really cool book. Yeah, that's a cool piece.
Yeah. Yeah, and he just did such a good job, man. I mean, look at that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Got yeah, that's a cool shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely I ended up canceling it, but I mean, I should have kept it. But yo, what's up, Jeff? How you doing, man?
My brother.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you, man. It's good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, man. How you doing? I had to wear the Red Sox shirt just for
Oh, that's good. It's all right. Hey, at least you're faithful. You know what I mean?
just shits and giggles tonight, right? Just hey, Red Sox all the way, right?
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
I had to jump on too. Best of boys. I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Support the bestas. So
That's
yeah.
right.
So
Cool, man. How you been, Jeff?
been good. Yeah. I think the community's tired of my R2 project, but I've been working on that. I just played around with the sound today, and
Yeah.
I have the sound working and the motion works. So like if you walk by it, it actually will play sound.
Oh,
So,
nice. What did you
I
end
just
up?
love to see it.
Yeah,
Did you end up
it's
using something like from the R2 builders, or you just kind of it's something that you
wing it.
came up with?
Yeah.
and winged it.
Yeah, so I basically did a 20-watt set of speakers in it
Mhm.
because the whole thing's hollow. That's the problem with it too. So the whole thing's hollow. So I put 2 speakers in it crossing, and then thank God for Halloween, right? There was a soundboard that somebody was pitching for Halloween stuff,
Mhm.
Oh, cool.
and it's all one piece. So you just put an SD card into it, and then it actually has a 3.5 millimeter jack.
Oh,
Plug that in, boom, you're ready to rock.
You know what we need to do, Gabe?
yeah.
Like within 2 weeks, I'll have my R2. We need to do a show like on R2. There he is.
Hey,
We'll do like an R2 show. Everybody can have show and tell their R2s.
Yeah.
my biggest problem right now is the legs. So the whole piece on the side, and Gabe, you've been through this too. So the whole piece on the side is hollow. It should have had a solid ring in there to connect the leg into. So now I try to get a circle, but the circle's too thick. So now I got to recut a circle so that I can fit the leg in there. Otherwise, the leg will just pop out of it.
It's hollow,
So,
the leg, the foot itself.
yeah, look at it.
Because what I was going to say is what you could do is fill it. It looks badass, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks great.
Good to see you, Joseph.
It's good to see you guys. Hey, Jeff.
Glad you were
Hey.
Hey. Yeah, well, you'll have to excuse me. We were putting Juliana to sleep, and none of us got any sleep last night because we had this major windstorm here. I thought our house was going to come apart last night. It was,
Oh no.
yeah.
Oh wow. That
Anyway,
sucks.
but it's good to be here, and happy birthday, Michael.
Thank you, Joseph. Thank
So
you
sorry
much.
to interrupt. I know you guys were talking about the R2. Jeff, that looks awesome.
Yeah, I did a bunch of I did a bunch of super glue. I did like Lee did. I glued my fingers together at least twice this week. You know, I did hot glue in the dome for the lights the other day. The lights are all working. So yeah.
Does Lee
So-
have Lee? He has the sideshow one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Cool.
So, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, can we look at it, Jeff, or is it hard to get your camera over there?
it's hard to get the camera over there.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't
I
worry
can
about
post. I think you posted it on Facebook, right?
Yeah, I have a couple on Facebook.
Yeah.
I just posted the sound. I just posted the motion on Spice Runners.
On Spice Runner.
Yeah,
Okay, let me
Yeah.
go. Let me go in there and we could show.
Don't mess with my slippers. It's cold up here in New Hampshire already.
it. You're one of those
I
guys
have to
who
wear furry slippers.
from the belly down. Huh?
Yeah, exactly.
That's all right.
All right, let me find this.
Me,
Yeah,
me and
I-
Sean were talking about you earlier, Jeff.
Oh yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Yeah, I like all nothing but good things to say about you, brother.
that's awesome.
Jeff, I
appreciate
have to tell you. So I saw your BB-8 that you got from Corbanth there, and
Yeah.
and so George called me up, right? George Medina, and he calls me and he's like, "Hey, did you see that BB-8 that Jeff got?" I said, "Yeah, it looks amazing." He's like, it's 50% off right now,
Yeah.
and so we went to the website. Like I was in my car on my phone, and he goes to the website, and I go to the website, and we're both looking at it. He's like, "There's only 2 left." so
yeah.
So I buy one, and I'm like, "No, George, there's only 1 left." And he's like, "No, there's 0 left because I just got the last."
Oh, that's funny.
What is the life size BBA?
Yeah,
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
yeah. Lights and
Yeah.
sound, fully built and painted, beautiful. It looked amazing, and it was 50% off. It was like 600 and some.
Yeah, that's super cheap.
And
I almost should have got one just to have for the restaurant.
and the hilarious thing is, I figured I would be getting some message or something from Lee the moment it arrived, saying, "You sequel trilogy lover."
Oh,
Great, or some nonsense.
hey, Joseph, you don't have one of those already, a life size?
No, I have a half scale
Oh, okay.
that was done by, what is it, Jack's Pacific? It's there. Well, actually, there were 2. There's one that was done by Jack's, and then there was another one that was a Target. It was done. The Target had it, and it was actually a remote controlled version. So it had 2 options. You could use a remote control to wheel it around, or it would follow you if you like held the remote and walked around.
That's cool.
And it makes the sounds, and it lights up, and it does everything. The only problem is it's only half scale, which is such a shame, right? And it was it was a steal. I think it was like $99 when I bought it because it was on clearance.
No.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just a shame that it's only, And then Bandai put out 2 model kits for that BB-8 that are half scale. Also, they put out a regular version, and then they put out an exclusive version that was highly like glossy, like new out of the factory BB-8. So yeah, so those are all options if people like that.
Yeah, there it is. It might be a little piercing for speakers, but
Oh, that's what you meant about your slippers.
yeah, because the motion board is outside of him right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's awesome.
the cool part is I didn't have to do any programming.
That's the thing. Like I never did sound on mine, and that's the one thing I was like, that's my next thing. I'm gonna do the motor spins or the dumb spins, but I needed to like upgrade that. And then the soundboard, I never did sound, so I was just gonna do like a Bluetooth speaker and just leave it there. But that's a cool option to just always leave it on,
Do you have the 3 legs, Gabe? You do, right? Yours is 3-legged? Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I even at the end, I put the Princess Leia message on it too, because I thought that was cool.
Nice.
So
That's really cool.
yeah. But yeah, just a Halloween board.
You got to do. I don't know if you watched the episode where we had Don B. Oh, there it is. I heard it.
Yeah.
Years ago, you served my father in the Clone Wars. Now he begs you to help him in his struggle against the Empire. I regret that I am unable to present my father's request to you in person, but my ship has fallen under attack, and I'm afraid my mission to bring you to Alderaan has failed. I've placed information vital to the survival of the rebellion into the memory systems of this R2 unit. My father will know how to retrieve it. You must see this droid safely delivered to him on Alderaan. This is our most desperate hour. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Dude, that just brought back so many memories.
I know, it's cool. You have to have that message on your R2. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Jeff,
I have it on mine too.
Jeff, have you ever considered? I know they make some kind of a projector that you can put in your
badass.
to project the Leia. I mean, obviously it's not a real hologram, but it'll project on a wall or something.
Yeah, so tomorrow, because I was just curious, right? Tomorrow I got one of those like pyramid looking things that you put on the screen.
Okay.
And then they have the messaging on YouTube. They have the Leia. So I was going to put the pyramid on the phone or the iPad and see what that looked like on the table next to it.
Cool.
So yeah.
Very cool. Yeah.
Curious what it looks like.
There are lots of options, right? And there's even you could get too, or they have those holographic projectors, the ones, the thing that spins and then it displays the hologram above it. And you could totally get the Leia animation and just put it on the table next to R2.
I gotta interrupt this conversation for a very special announcement. I happened to just kind of scroll onto the Spice Runners Lounge and came across this amazing picture.
I know which one you were gonna pull up.
Oh my god! I couldn't believe that when I saw it.
Scott, that's awesome, man.
Scott was in a hairband.
Yeah. You're right out of like Poison or like.
I like the chain. The chain sets it off. Man.
That is. That's
like Nicholas's video comment though. He's got it
That
down.
was fucking hilarious.
I just gotta know though. I gotta know when Janine met Scott. Was it this version of Scott that she fell in love with, or was it a post-hair Scott?
I know. We gotta ask Janine what's up, or Scott. You let us know, Scott. Or maybe it was like a in between, like he had like a bob cut.
That's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. That's like straight up early Queen, right there.
So Scott actually did. So Scott did the audio cleanup for some of those R2 bits too. So the Leia piece, he actually did the cleanup. So he has the full clean version of that Leia.
That's really cool. I would love to do an R2 at some point. That would just be,
It's been fun, but also a little bit of a headache. So I know it's a lot of work.
Post
hair, pre-beard. Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
Oh.
So she fell in love with minimal hair, Scott.
Yeah.
Oh, well, my wife met me when I had nothing. No hair, nothing on the head, nothing on the face.
What's your plan with? I know you're still in the works of still getting more shit and.
Me or Jeff?
I'm talking to you, Joseph.
No, you, Joseph. It's not me.
You know that Joseph and I are the only two that we just always lean to each other. But what's the plan with the Tauntaun?
Oh, for the head?
Yeah.
So I have there are two. Well, I have two options for it. I have a spot for it on the wall in my display room, but then I thought, I considered actually when I was talking about getting our friend to make the Nexu head that we see at Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
And so I thought about putting the Tauntaun and the Nexu on both sides of my TV, the big screen TV in the theater room. I thought that would look cool. and then leave the spot in the display room open for. I just got my hands on a raw cast for Mandalorian jetpack. And so I thought, since I was going to do the Empire and the ROTJ jetpacks on that wall, I would just add Mando's jetpack and just put all 3 of them in a row and put the Tauntaun head out in the movie room.
Very cool.
So, yeah, I still don't know if it'll fit, though. It's pretty big. It's wide.
Gabe, yours is the Empire version?
For
the Boba Fett.
Jetpack.
the jetpack.
Yes,
No,
okay.
no, mine's Return of the Jedi Special Edition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So basically, it's the art. I mean, it's kind of like the art. Well, I mean, there's multiple packs, but it's basically the one that they took out and they kind of redid for the special editions.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's badass. We even had the dude on our show. You know.
Yeah.
That's cool. We had him on our show.
Yeah.
I loved hearing those stories. How they made him during his lunch go back to the ranch and the shit was in the box and they just grabbed it all. That was a cool story.
Yeah.
You know, because everybody's so particular about stuff, and he's just like, "Yeah, this works." You know.
Oh, and he's been a wealth of information. So I got the Jango Fett helmet, right, and from the new Novo, and it's scanned from the original. But when I was doing the comparison, I there's a lot of similarities to the Empire Strikes Back at. I didn't show it on the video because obviously it's an unlicensed cast of the Empire Strikes Back that I have, but I started comparing it. And I was like, man, this is like, there's a lot of similarities. So I made the comment on there, and this guy, kind of called me out on it. He's like, no, it's actually not because of this, that, and that. And I was like, well, maybe they used it as the base to make the Jango Fett, because why would they just make the helmet from scratch when they have the reference there that they could just literally take a casting and then they could, and they could maybe redo it. So anyways, we were going back and forth, kind of arguing about it. And then I was like, you know what? Let me ask Don Beast. He knows. He was the archivist, and he was Jango Fett for the.
Can't get any more accurate than that.
Yeah. So then I actually messaged him, and he responded like within like a couple minutes, and he was like, you know what? They did that with the Darth Vader helmet. They took a casting and then they kind of redid it for the Episode 3 helmet. So he's like, so it wouldn't be a surprise if they did do that with the Jango Fett helmet. He's like, but I don't know. But let me reach out to my ILM friends and find out. So then I'm like, wow, thank you so much. And sure enough, like 20 minutes later, he's like, all right, I heard back. And he says he actually only worked on the armor, blah, blah, blah. But I was just like, man, like, that's crazy that I got all this information just
Such a good, reliable source.
So I might reveal my ignorance here a little bit, but isn't the Boba Fett helmet, I mean, in the lore, right, in the timeline, it's just Jango's helmet that's been repainted.
That's what I thought.
It's not a different helmet, right? So so in the Star Wars universe, they're supposed to be exactly the same shape-wise, right? Morphology should be the same, but the paint job is different, and of course the dent.
Right.
So
I'm assuming that. I mean, they never really explained it, but it's kind of like circumstantial evidence, right? Because he grabs the helmet and then fast forward to Empire Strikes Back.
Well, the thing is, I haven't seen all the Clone Wars, the animated stuff. Jeff, have you seen all that? Gabe, have you watched all the animated?
I did
most of it.
So don't they have, like, they show like how they got the dent, right? It was Cad Bane and so I mean it's the same helmet, I think. It's funny though, you mentioned the thing about the Vader helmet.
Oh, there you go. Left coast.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe it's not the same helmet.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah. So the bad thing about the Clone Wars is that there's a lot of filler ones, and I would kind of skip around at one point. I was just like, I just want to know what happened with Darth Maul and Ahsoka, and like
so Gabe, what I wanted to ask you mentioned the thing about Vader's helmet, because that's really interesting, because I thought, my understanding was that for Episode 3 they digitally created that helmet, and the reason that it looks so weird is because it's completely symmetric, whereas the original Vader helmet was all hand sculpted, so it was all wonky.
That's still true, but they used one of the castings from the archives as kind of the base, like the base model to kind of digitally resculpt it and to make it fit Hayden Christensen's head and all that.
I see.
So
okay.
Jeff, are you on the what's the new, what do you call those that are taken off, Gabe, that we just talked about? The cartoon, the new series of showing like the past of
Tales of the Jedi.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
It is really good.
Yeah, it's good, right, Joseph?
It's really good.
Yeah, I think I watched all of them in like two nights.
Yeah, I think I got to watch two more. I think the last one I saw was it's crazy because you like what's his name, Qui-Gon, he sends him off, and when he was standing by that tree, I didn't realize, so he went and got killed. That was like the backstory of it.
Yeah,
the best part is they can tell the story and what you need to get out of the story in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You don't need 6 episodes. It's 15 minutes. Like, boom.
Yeah.
No
so
filler.
we found out what happened to Yaddle.
Yeah, exactly.
Now we know why she never showed up in episode 2.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody really was curious.
Scared.
But I mean, now we know.
Now we know.
Yeah.
Hey, Gabe and Michael and Joseph, you got, well, in the community, you'll probably like this too. So we talked about this the other day. So Imperial Walker Inc., right, just did a announcement. Hector just did an announcement for Marsha Lucas that she's going to actually sign for that for Hector in early 2023.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Which,
hey, Jeff, can you keep us updated on that? That'd be great.
Yeah. So if you're not part of Imperial Walker Inc., join him, right? Hector's a really great guy.
Yeah.
He does a lot of ILM signings. He's doing a Phil Tippett thing right now on a Dennis Murin signing, but really cool guy. You won't get that anywhere else. And Marsha Lucas has been like on radar for people to get a signature from her for years. So if she does this signing, which sometimes she just kind of says, no, I don't want to do this. If he ends up getting it, which I think he will, it's going to be early 2023. So definitely like join that group and keep an eye on it if you want.
Is it
Lucas.
Imperial Walker
Inc.
Like incorporated?
Let me see what the exact.
I think she's relieved after that documentary of putting that shit out.
Yeah.
I think she's relieved of what she's, finally been out there and said her piece,
It's Imperial Walker Inc. - Star Wars autographs.
And I bet she realizes the love that the community has for her.
I might send her my my original VHS copy of Star Wars from 1982. Never sign that.
Yeah. So the cool part too is when he announced it, when he did the first announcement of it, everybody was like, man, it's going to be like $500 or more. And he's talking about like on live stream that it's going to be under $300.
Cool.
So, I mean, that's a good pickup if you're autographing.
That's great. He's doing a Phil Tippett Dennis Murin for $60.
Yeah. Yep.
What? Wait a second. Did I just pay $5,000 for those?
Oh yeah, those little plaques. Yeah.
Gabe.
I feel bamboozled here.
That's hilarious.
Oh man. Tom Spina.
But you got a plaque too, though, Gabe.
Yeah, you got a little stand with it.
Too, so.
I did get a little stand with it in the shape of a table. So
I thought for a minute there, I thought you were going to say it's in the shape of.
No.
Mine's right back there. I keep it front and center so I can look at it every day. Just to remind myself.
That's cool though. That's cool though. The stand is cool.
What are y'all talking about?
The little stand
the
for the plaque.
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool. You know what's interesting is like I haven't seen this room for Joseph in a while, and like every time you see it, it gets a little more crowded in there.
Yeah, I'm actually very. I can't
remember how clean it was.
Yeah,
It's
remember
Yeah.
when we first had Joseph on the show? It was like super like clean. Everything was
Yeah,
like,
Yeah.
medical.
It's a total mess because I've got like 10 projects going on at the
oh,
same time, and I
man.
realized I can't get anything done when it's this crowded. So
I'm very disappointed in you, Joseph.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I'm working. There's the Death Star Tower I told you
I
about.
saw that. That's badass.
That's the current project. That'll be done tonight. And then actually the Cloud City here has been sitting here forever because
Yeah,
I don't
that's
have a base
badass.
for it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And it's I have to have the base so I can mount everything.
for sure.
And Jason Eaton was making the base. He designed it, but he couldn't get anyone. It was too large for his laser cutter. And then I spoke to the Bowmans, and they have a laser cutter that can accommodate it. So they said, "Oh, just send us the file. We'll do it for you."
Oh, that's cool.
And so so Ben and Robin are going to be doing that.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, very
and
good.
sending it over, and then I can finally get this thing up.
So is
That's
Jason
really
going to
exciting.
send them the file?
Yeah, no, he already did because
Oh, good.
it was just he designed the base 4 months ago,
Yeah.
and we've been trying to he was trying to get someone to cut it,
Well, gotcha.
and so they're going to do it. Yeah, it was just kind of fortuitous we were talking about it, and so there's lots of little projects going on here, but
Joseph has a whole Phil Tippett table in the back.
I do. If only.
I know he does. Badass.
Yeah.
Oh, well, now that I have Jeff on here, look at what
I was going to ask you. If it came.
Yeah, look at what came in. Jeff.
Yeah.
Oh wow, John Williams.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
so
a good one. It's
He
nice.
has a really nice signature.
Yeah.
That's really nice. That's like a John Hancock signature right there.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I finally got that one. Now I'm just in the search for the George Lucas one, and then but it would be awesome. I mean, literally, like imagine if George Lucas did a signing where I can send away my letter from Lucasfilm that says that they don't do autographs. Imagine how cool that would be to get George Lucas
Get him to sign it.
That's
That
awesome.
would be cool.
I mean, right? It's like, sorry, we're not doing autographs.
You should,
Did y'all
you should
see
send
the-
it in for Marsha Lucas. Have Marsha sign it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right?
that'd be great.
That would be awesome.
So
Like the biggest.
hey, I picked up
biggest
something
habit.
too. Let me go grab it.
Yeah.
Hey, put me on the big screen for a
Yeah.
second.
Put this back. Oh, here.
Hang on. Okay, ready?
You have to understand that the reality of nature and God and life is that things come and things go. They do not stay in your life. You have to learn to accept the fact that it is a continuum, that you're just a part of it, and the things will be there, and they won't be there. So enjoy them and love them while they're there, and then be happy that they've gone someplace else. You can't hold on to people because the pain of losing somebody or losing something is your pain. It's not the pain of that person. It's your pain of losing that person being with you. And you have to be able to overcome that. Otherwise, you just suffer your whole life.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
I have to when he does these little things, like whether he's at a conference or whatever, I have to literally listen to that. Like I've had to listen to that like 7 or 8 times before I really understand.
Mhm.
He's so, you know what I mean? There's just something. I'm not getting weird, but there's just something about that dude who has these life experiences. He's so knowledgeable, But
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard that, Joseph.
No, I missed it. I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, George Lucas.
Oh.
Did you
So-
hear that, Gabe? What he's saying? Yeah.
What is that?
Okay, so I want to see if anybody recognizes this.
Hey, Robin. Planet of the Apes. Oh,
Oh.
badass! That green deal in Star Trek.
Yep, this is the Gorn's knife from Star Trek. This was made by Douglas Hildebrand.
I'm
And
impressed
he-
Michael knew that.
Yeah,
know.
yeah. He's a closet. He's a closet Star Trek fan.
Suspicious, very
Yeah, that's very suspicious.
Right, Gabe.
He's very suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the Gorn knife.
That's kind of weird, Joseph. You might want to put that down.
Hey, Robin.
Hey, Robin.
Hey,
We
man.
were just talking about you guys.
Yes, we were. Anyway, so he had made me a Gorn head, and I was talking to a guy on Facebook, Mike Tenney, who had done the Gorn cannon that Kirk makes in that episode out of bamboo and sulfur and potassium nitrate and coal and diamonds. And he made this beautiful display, and then he displayed the knife next to it. So I got Douglas Hildebrand to make me one of these two. So
That's cool.
I don't know, this brings back a lot of memories from childhood. So I love it. So
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Also, I got, and I never showed it. And I got it a couple weeks ago. I got a screen used, the cube, or did I show it? The screen used cube from Super 8.
yes, you.
That's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that movie. I love those little adventure movies.
Even Spielberg. I mean, it was a good movie. You know.
Speaking of,
you know those little white cubes.
How
that are everywhere?
how big is it, Gabe? Because it's about that big.
I'd probably say
Rubik's?
about maybe 4x4x4. Like it's like a Rubik's.
Yeah, like a little Rubik's cube.
Yeah, because QMX made replicas of those back in the day. They were only like 2 inches by 2 inch, 2 inches square.
Yeah.
They were smaller, but yeah, they're really cool.
Yeah.
have y'all seen the I forget the name of it right now, but the upcoming movie that Spielberg did about his life as a child?
No.
Oh yeah, the one that's coming. Is it about him? Is that what it's supposed to be?
It's about Steven Spielberg and how he got started in the film industry. Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Marcel, so if you remove Vader's mask behind you, it's Captain Kirk.
I'm not going to remove the mask. No.
Go, Marcel.
Hey, so
Yeah.
but
And
yeah,
guys,
that's going to be really cool.
sorry, Michael, really quick. If anybody wants to jump on, the link to join us is in the Facebook group. You just go in the comments. The link's on there. So just FYI, if anybody wants to jump on.
Very cool.
Where are you saying, Michael? Sorry.
I can't remember. That was 30
The
seconds.
Steven Spielberg movie.
Oh yeah.
About his
So,
life.
but it's really cool that he's able to do something. And one of the kids that are playing in that movie is from here in San Antonio, a Hispanic kid, and he's making his way up now. So
Nice.
that's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, that looks like it's gonna be a good movie.
Yeah,
Is it out? I think, or it's coming out, right?
it's getting ready to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something pretty cool that Spielberg can have in the books, of his life. I really think they ought to do something with George Lucas like that. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
How he
Well,
got
I
his
mean,
plaid
that
shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you didn't see Joseph, but Lucas, he doesn't get out. I mean, I don't see him putting in public, you know what I mean, with talking to people and stuff much. So when you see stuff like what I just showed, he's getting old.
Yeah. Although there is that great video of him. You probably have all seen it on YouTube, right? Where there's some guy doing a documentary and it's like on economics or whatever, and he's walking down the street and the camera's like filming him.
Yes.
And George Lucas like walks right behind him and goes into this building, and
He goes into his bank.
Yeah.
That's badass, dude.
Jeez.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
I mean,
That's funny.
geez.
I know, man.
That's the craziest thing I always think about is like, so when I was at D23, remember I told this story, right? Is that my sister-in-law had all access passes, right? Because she works for Pixar. So she was like, hey, you want to go like to the green room, right? To the waiting. I was like, no, I'm going to go and grab a seat so I can get a good seat for the Lucasfilm panel. And so she went in the back and she's literally like, yeah, Harrison Ford's right here with me. This person's right here. This person. I was like, oh my God. I just don't know what would happen. Like if Harrison Ford just was like right here next to me, I mean,
Freeze up.
what do you do, right? Like I would freeze. I'd be like, hey, sir, right? What do you do? And
I loved you in your movies.
You're a total asshole, dude.
Yeah.
You want to be
just
killed
curl
off.
up in the fetal position on the floor, Gabe. And no, there's.
Right?
I mean, they're just normal people. You just, but
Yeah, but they're I don't think they're especially I think Harrison Ford and George Lucas, I don't think they're keen on
No.
they're not very friendly with like Star Wars fans, right?
Well,
Not at all.
I mean, here's the thing: you can't fanboy out, obviously,
Right.
because they don't like. I mean, they don't like
Yeah.
that. And I think I told you guys, right, the story. I told you on Collection Wars when I met
Joseph.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's
Hey, my son is here briefly. I'm just gonna go say hello to him, and I'll be back, guys. Go ahead, Joseph. Sorry about that. All right.
Yeah, no, I mean, I told you the story about when I met Quentin Tarantino, right, at that restaurant, and he was sitting on the table. I don't know, Jeff, if you know the story, but so my wife and I were having dinner at this restaurant. We were sitting across from another couple. They were from New York, and we were sitting talking. This was in 2015, early 2016. And we're sitting having dinner and we're talking about Star Wars because The Force Awakens had just come out. And the other couple that we were with, they had never seen Star Wars. And my wife was joking with them about how I forced her to watch all 6 of the original movies before we went to the theater. And anyway, during the course of the dinner, I look over on the table right next to us is Quentin Tarantino, and he's sitting and having dinner. And the thing is that the restaurant is one of those restaurants where the tables are crammed together. So I could reach out my arm and I could like touch him. I mean, he's right there.
Wow.
And I'm a huge, Tarantino fan. So I wasn't even sure at first if it was him, right? Because he put on some weight.
Yeah.
But when I heard him speak, I was like, oh shit, it's him. So when he got up to leave, I stood up and I said, I'm sorry, I have to ask if it's just an uncanny resemblance. Or he's like, no, it's me. And
wow.
and I said, look, I want to thank you, for all that you've done for the art of film. I love, everything you've done. I'm a huge fan of your work, and and it's been a huge part of my life. So thank you. And he's like, oh, that's really kind. And then he's like, I hate to say, but I was eavesdropping on your conversation and I heard you forced your wife to watch all the Star Wars movies. And then he sits down with us and he's like, so what did you think? So he turns to my wife and he puts her on the spot. And he's like, so what did you think? And what did you think of the new movie? I haven't seen it yet. And he sat with us for like 15 minutes and talked film.
Wow.
And like how he and he mentioned
that's cool.
He mentioned that one of his inspirations for doing the teaching montage with Uma Thurman and Kill Bill was Luke and Yoda. And they're from Empire, and that whole the teaching montage. And then he and he was telling us how he's also a huge Star Trek fan. He's more of a Star Trek fan than a Star Wars fan. And then I told him, my wife and I, our first date movie was Django Unchained. And he's like, you mean I had a hand in getting you married? That's wonderful. And I didn't have the heart to tell him that she started crying halfway through the movie and wanted to leave because it was so violent. Anyway, the point is we had this great conversation with him. And in that time, I didn't ask him for an autograph. I didn't ask him for a photo. I didn't ask him, he got up, we said our goodbyes, he left. And on his way out the door, one of the waiters stopped him and asked him for a photo, like a selfie. And he just tore into this guy, started screaming at him in the middle of the restaurant, I'm here to have dinner and blah, blah. He just went off. This guy was almost in tears. He was shaking. And then he just stormed off and left the restaurant. And all I could think was, well, thank God I didn't ask him for a picture.
Thank God it didn't. Yeah. Geez.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying, right? Who knows, right? You could be like, hey, thank you so much, Mr. Ford. Can I take a picture? And he's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, it's the thing is that they're just, like Tarantino, the point is he's a person, and he loves to talk about his art as a person. Yeah. But when you stop them and you're like, I want an autograph or I want a photo, you're treating them as more like an object. And I think that's what they really hate. I don't know. I'm speculating. I've never been in that position, but
well, you're right too. So it takes you a few minutes too, when you see these people, because I think it's a shocker too. When you see them out and then you see them and you're like, wait a minute, that can't be right.
Yeah, it's surreal.
They're not going to be in the same spot as me. right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it is pretty crazy. Because we used to do that when growing up. Like when I lived in Florida, we'd go to the Cardinal spring training, right? And we take all of our Cardinals cards over there, and you'd see these people get out of the car, and you literally had like 5 minutes between, or 2 minutes before they went from the car to the front door of the facility, and you were literally like, as a kid, going, "Who is it? Who is it? Shit, it's And then he's already in the thing. You're like, "Damn it, that was Ozzie Smith." And you're like, "Shit." You know, like, we missed him.
Yeah.
Next tomorrow, right? But it's like, yeah, it takes you a few minutes to go, wait a minute, these guys, like, they're just normal people. So
Yeah, it's very surreal. And I mean, I've run into my share of celebrities just out, like, it's crazy where I mean, I ran into Kirk Douglas, believe it or not,
wow.
in an elevator at a Portland Art Museum. Like, yeah,
That's
just,
crazy.
like, crazy. I mean, I was really young, right? But I mean, I knew who it was. Yeah, and then who's the Charlie Sheen's father? I'm blanking on his name.
Yeah. What's on our ground?
I know, I'm blanking on his name. He's another one I met just like at random, just at some location.
It's not Martin Sheen?
Martin Sheen. Martin Sheen.
Yeah.
I was sitting at a restaurant in Portland long ago, and Tommy Lee Jones and Charlize Theron were sitting in the table next to us. They were filming a movie in Portland, and they were having dinner at this Italian place. And it was actually really funny because all the waiters are Italian, and they were all like, talking and talking about her in Italian. And it turns out she speaks Italian. So she understood everything they were saying, and then she snapped back at him. Yeah, it was pretty funny. But I didn't recognize Tommy Lee Jones. He had this huge white beard, and it was just weird.
Yeah.
But when you hear them talk, that's when you pick up on it, right? On who they are.
Yeah, you're like, that's got to be,
Yeah, the voices are so, iconic.
Yeah.
Wow. We don't see many celebrities in New Hampshire, so I'm not going to bump into too many of those.
We always see at Disneyland, right? Because we always look for them now, right? Because they're always with the plaid people, right? With the guided tours. So it's really quick and easy to spot. Or like you'll see a group and you'll see the guide, and then you kind of just look and you're like, oh, like there's this person. But one time we were getting off of, I think it was like Snow White or something with the kids, and as we were exiting, it's a really narrow exit, right? As you're getting out, they were escorting Jack Black in there. So we crossed paths, but it didn't register that it was Jack Black until we were almost like face to face, and I was just like, Jack Black, and like I pointed like right at his face, like startled him, and I was just like, I don't know why I reacted that way. It was just like, I think like my mind was just like trying to see like, okay, who, and I was like, Jack Black. I did the same thing with what's her name? Fox. I'm doing it again.
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox. I called her Vivica J. Fox, and I was just like, oh my god, it's Vivica Fox. I was like, no, it's not. I was like, please. And yeah, same thing. We're coming off of, I think, like Thunder Mountain, and they're coming in with her husband from 90210, that Austin Green guy. I forgot his name, but and I was again, and they're not like celebrities that I would normally like, like geek over, but I think it's just the fact that it's surreal, right? Because like you see these people like on screen, and then all of a sudden they're just there, and you're like, oh shit, like
they're in your space. So now you're like, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
When one year my friend came to visit from Texas, and we were that's cool. That's funny. So when my friend came from Texas to visit, we were going to drive up to Seattle, and I was talking to my wife. I was like, what are we going to do when we're up there? Let's see what's going on. And I see there's a huge Battlestar Galactica convention. And my wife is like, we are not going to that, and we are not taking your friend to that. And I'm like, come on, we have to go. We got to go. It's Galacticon, So anyway, I obviously accept the fact that we're not going to this thing. my friend books a hotel up there by the airport because he was gonna fly back to Texas from there. So we drive up to Seattle. We spend the weekend there. We're in the hotel, and in the evening, he's waiting for the shuttle to take him to the airport. We're sitting down in the lobby area. There's like an outdoor area, and I'm sitting there, and I start to see. I'm looking around me, and it's the entire cast from Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, that's
the surviving cast. They were there staying at the hotel for the convention.
Oh.
And then we ended up making conversation, but the entire conversation, I didn't tell them, I didn't let on that I knew who they were.
Oh.
And then the younger cast from the new Battlestar Galactica from the early 2000s, they show up. And then they sit and they're talking to us and they're like, so, what are you guys doing while you're here in Seattle? And I'm telling them, I think we're just going to go do some shopping. And inside I'm thinking, I'm going to Galacticon,
I'm going to see you guys over there.
They're like, so they tell us, they're like, well, we're here for this, science fiction convention and you should come with us. It'll be a lot of fun.
Oh, wow.
So the next day, my wife and I went there with them. And we hung out with them the whole day. We did the panel, the Q&A panel. We went backstage. We were just hanging out with them. We did all this. We exchanged phone numbers with them, and we left. And I never told them that I knew who they were, or that I was a Battlestar Galactica fan, or that I knew about the show or anything. I never let up.
What's probably funny with that, Joseph, is you probably were walking into the convention center with them or whatever, and other people are around him and going, who's that guy?
Yeah.
Who's that guy with them? Like, he looks familiar, but like, what's he? Yeah.
Yeah. It's really funny because one of the kids came up. I was sitting behind one of the booths with one of the actresses, and one of the kids came up to me and asked me for my autograph. Like, I'm not part of this. But he didn't know,
Signed fan of Galacticon.
Fan of Galacticon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was such and that was a really weird and surreal experience. Because the problem is that at first I didn't want to tell them that I knew who they all were, right? Because I didn't want it to be like this fan interaction. Yeah. The problem is that if you don't reveal that after 10, 15, 20 minutes,
too late. Yeah,
it's too late. You can't go back and tell them, I really know,
yeah, by the way, I love
lying.
Yeah, I grew up.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah,
I'm actually in a very similar position. Actually, currently right now, there's this kind of influencer guy, and he's in Star Wars, and we became friends on social media and everything, and he plays in one of my favorite bands, and I didn't want to just be like straight up like, hey man, aren't you the guy from from Bayside? I love that band, and even to this day, like I saw him at Comic-Con, at San Diego Comic-Con, and we're just talking Star Wars, and we're kind of hanging out for a bit, and I still haven't told him that I'm like a big fan of his band, but now it's too late, right? It is like I can't just be like, hey, by the way, like I really love your band. Like,
by the way, I've had a crush on you for a long time.
Yeah. I've been a fanboy since
right.
years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, and it's funny because we actually went to go see them, and my wife and I saw them, and my wife's like, I'm just gonna yell out because he has a little like actually those the t-shirts that sometimes I wear that say like the chapter 13 the Jedi and all those. It's from this group called Batu Crew, and he's the one who made it. So she's like, I'm just gonna yell out Batu Crew, Batu Crew. I was like, shut up, please do not do that. Please don't embarrass me. Like, I actually don't even want him to see me and like recognize me, and like seems weird.
But that's funny. Then next he thinks you're stalking him.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Did I ever tell you I have a story like that, and it's crazy. So what's that guy? Oh my god, I can't remember. He was married to Pink. He's a BMXer. Oh my god. Somebody needs to help me out with this. But anyway, so he's like this export or whatever. He's on BMXs and he's extreme sports guy. He's married to Pink. So when I worked at Best Buy, he came into the store one day and I was like, oh, I recognized him. I was like, hey man, like I've seen you on TV. He has like a show about his tattoo. Corey Hart. There you go. Thank you.
Corey Hart.
Corey Hart. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. I watch your show, whatever. I'm like, hey, I took a picture with him. Right. And then some of my employees were like, yeah, can we take a picture too? And he was just really nice. He was really cool. So we take a picture and he's going down to like Baja because he's opening up a new like tattoo shop down there or something. So fast forward a couple months, my wife is studying abroad in Italy. So I'm going to go visit her and I have a layover in Atlanta and we have to switch planes and the bags are coming around and I'm kind of just sitting there just waiting for my bag. Right. And this is like 2 a.m, like super weird time. Everyone's kind of just all groggy from the plane. And I look over and literally right next to me and I'm like, oh, fuck, man.
Do I say something or?
Yeah, and it was recent enough where like I know if I mention it, he's gonna remember. And I was like, and then we finally like lock eyes, and I'm like, "Hey man, how are you?" Like, I don't know if you're. He's like, Best Buy guy, yeah, hey, Best Buy,
Best Buy guy, Best Buy guy.
Yeah. So we had this weird, awkward conversation, waiting for our bags, and then he leaves or whatever. Fast forward 6 months.
Oh
later,
God!
because this is around like November, December when I went to go visit my wife.
Oh damn!
Fast forward to July, which is her birthday. We go to Vegas, and her friend and like they do this whole thing where they got this big booth at this like club, and it's like, anyways, her friends went all out to celebrate my wife's birthday. So we're literally in this big thing, and I'm sitting on top of the bench. It's like this weird circular bench, but you could sit on the top part. And I kid you not, the fucking booth over, I look over and I'm like, oh no. I'm like, it's Carrie Hart. I was like, I'm all hiding down there. And eventually we did like look at we looked at each other, and he kind of like nodded and I nodded, and I was just like, oh my God, he's gonna think I'm stalking this guy. Like,
You mean he didn't yell out "Best Buy
I
guy"?
was gonna say, it's not. He's like stalker. Yeah, exactly. Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
yeah, motocross
God.
guy. That's right. He's not a BMX guy. He's a motocross
Yeah.
guy.
Carrie Hart. Okay.
He totally dropped like any like conversation with. He's just like,
He's just like,
hey,
man,
yo, what's up?
He's like,
Meanwhile, he's calling his attorney to get a restraining order.
his security guards. He's like, hey,
Yeah, you gotta get over here. This guy's over here again from
He's
Best
like
Buy.
San Diego to Atlanta to Vegas, like
Oh,
following
damn.
me in different cities. Damn it.
Oh, that's really fun.
Yeah, but it's funny. It happened to be, and the reason I guess why he was there and it was a big thing is because at the same club that it was what's the Damon guy, what's his name, he was on something about Mary, not
Left
Matt,
Coast?
what is it?
Ben Stiller?
No, I'm saying Left Coast will get it here in a second.
Yeah.
Ben Stiller was the something about Mary guy.
Yeah, well, he was. What's up?
Hey,
Hey, what's up, guys?
how's it going?
Figured I saw my brother, Mr. Jeff. I'm like, you know what? I need to hang some more. So
Yeah,
it's always good to hang with you guys.
Yeah, man.
yeah,
Welcome.
man. Welcome, man.
Welcome to the party.
Welcome.
I know.
Yeah. Oh my God. Just sobering up, Scott.
Yes, exactly right. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. Just one more. Yeah, there it is.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So I get he's an entourage. You know what I'm talking about now? He's the brother of another big celebrity.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. The
Matt Dillon. There you go.
Dylan.
There you go.
There you go.
That's him.
Yeah, it was his birthday, so they're doing this big
Oh, okay.
party there and all
Wow.
that. So apparently that's why they were there. But anyway, yeah.
Really funny. By the way, I missed the first part of the show. Did you guys talk about Andor at all this week?
We talked
no?
a little bit. We just touched on like what we thought about it. But we didn't go into like details about it. But yeah. What did you watch it?
I did. I saw it. Yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it. It's really, it's very interesting because I don't know. I feel like I would probably enjoy this more if I could binge watch it because it's just killing me to, because you're getting these snippets and the episodes are, I mean, like for example, the heist portion was like spread out over 5 episodes, so you feel like you're watching this heist in slow motion.
Yeah.
And now we're in a prison break,
Slow
segment,
motion.
and again, it's like, they've separated the prison break out into all these segments, and so that's the only issue I have with it. But I love the progression and stuff, and the characters, Andy Serkis's character is just I love how at the end of the episode he's like, how many guards are there, and then he just tells him because they realize they're all screwed.
Yeah, it is slow, but it's paced nice. Like I think it's
is
equally right. Like it's not like very fast in one episode, all of a sudden the next one.
Right? No,
it's like
I
very
think
gradually. Like boom.
no, the episodes are good. The slow part for me is having to wait the week in between because the story is not the breaks. Right, the episodes are not contained episodes. It's almost as though they've taken this story arc about the prison break and then they arbitrarily, like, they've cut it into these segments. So you don't feel like there's any resolution at the end of the episode. You're waiting and, so I'm just anxious. I want to see the rest of it.
Janine said the same thing right before. That's why she said exactly Joseph in the comments. It's for her. She's like, maybe I just have to binge watch it. Maybe I just have to wait because it's not holding her. She's like, whatever right now. Yeah.
Well, I have a few friends who are doing that. They've abstained. They're not watching it, and they're gonna binge watch it when it's all done.
Yeah.
So
Makes sense.
Maybe it may be part of our. I think maybe we've just gotten spoiled now with streaming. This habit of watching things streaming and binge watching stuff.
Cobra Kai all the way.
Yeah.
That's an easy one to binge watch.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. To me that's a show that was a sequel that was done really well.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm enjoying that a lot.
Yesterday my wife is like obsessed with crime documentaries, which is ridiculous because
it's because she's plotting your death. Just
no,
accept it,
actually,
understand it.
Quite the opposite. Every time we watch one of these, she looks at me and she's like, "You're gonna murder us, aren't you?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like, I hate watching these because it's always the dad and it's always like the normal husband that like all of a sudden now.
Wait. Are you watching this on the Lifetime channel?
No.
My sister calls that the Man Hater channel.
Yes.
The Man Hater channel.
That's true.
So then yesterday, it was kind of late at night and we watched this new documentary called Killer Sally. Mm-hmm. It's about this bodybuilder girl that ends up murdering her like bodybuilder husband.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, I didn't see it, but yeah.
It's on Netflix. Yeah. It's another crime, documentary about like, this murder and all that stuff. But the reason why we got put onto it is because one of the judges here in San Diego was the prosecutors, and we know him. We're like, oh, let's watch it. Yeah. So we're sitting there and watching it, and when we started it kind of late, right? Because it's a 3-part series. So we started around like 10:30. So it was already past midnight, and my wife is kind of falling asleep, and then all of a sudden, her cousin, who's a broadcaster, she's a news anchor, comes on, and she's like broadcasting about the thing, and I was like, hey, isn't that your cousin? She like wakes up and she's like, oh yeah, that is my cousin. That's crazy. Okay. And then she kind of falls back asleep, and then I'm like, hey, isn't that your dad? Your dad is taking the verdict. And she's like, wait, what? And I'm like, rewind it, look, it's your dad. And sure enough, it was her dad is in the documentary because he was the supervisor for the defense attorneys that were defending that case, and he took the verdict. So he's in that documentary, and you could see him, and she's like, "Oh my god, now I'm so embarrassed because now everyone at work is gonna be like, oh, your dad was in it, and this and that." But it was just so surreal that like, and I almost thought of like, I'm like, man, it's like 1 a.m. Maybe I'm dreaming. Like, I don't think that was him. And then sure enough, it was him because they happened here in San Diego.
That's crazy.
That is.
Thank you, Paradox and General Kenobi. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Scott, how you doing, buddy?
Good. Happy birthday.
Thank
Tomorrow.
you, man. It's good to see you, pal.
Yeah,
Tomorrow.
thanks, man.
So Scott, we were enjoying that picture of you in the
With my hair when I could
with
go.
your hair. That was
Yeah.
impressive. That was very impressive.
As
I
late
bet-
80s, early 90s, somewhere around
Marcel
there.
probably really enjoyed it.
Right. But no, I mean, that's what you
Marcel's
had to
still
have.
rocking.
That's what you had to have back then. If you're in a rock band, metal band, anything like that, that was a look, you know?
Dude,
Wow.
imagine Marcel and Scott in a band together, but in the hair day. Like you guys
The hair
you guys
day.
have, like, a hair band with Marcel and Scott.
I picture Marcel always like this, you know, with the hair all on one side playing his instrument. That's what I would picture with that.
Hey, what's
Hey,
up?
it's Matt.
Hey guys.
Oh, man.
Are you
Ready-
moved? Are you
Michael's
moved in?
nemesis.
Ready for some stuff. What's up, Matt? How you been, Matt?
I'm good, man.
Are you in Florida?
Yeah, I am.
Yay.
I've been
Right on.
here about 2 weeks. It'll be 2 weeks tomorrow.
Good
Nice.
for you. Hey,
So-
Kelvin, all quiet on the Western Front. Is that I've not seen that or heard of that. You guys seen that?
That's
I had to read the
classic.
book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it, I mean, I know this is a dumb question, but is it a Western?
No, it's
World War
about
II.
One.
World War One, right?
Oh, that's right. I did see a little bit about that.
I
That
heard
looks really
great.
good, actually.
Yeah, I heard it's like it makes people like
I don't even know if I can
emotional.
if I want to watch that.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes
But
people.
it was
like
such a
it?
brutal war and so
really
sad.
emotional because it like puts you in there with them and like putting you in the situations that they're in and like
Yeah.
basically like it calls out like the ridiculousness of like war and like fighting other people over borders and stuff. But yeah, apparently like people start crying and
Wow.
pretty emotional. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So you
I mean, from what I saw, from what the previews that I saw, it looks like that the first scene from Saving Private Ryan, but just the whole movie's like the whole show is like that.
But it's real.
Not
Is
to
it-
be
or
not
is
to
it a
be
movie?
confused with Shaving Ryan's Privates.
Oh, jeez.
Oh boy.
Hey, is it a documentary or is it a real film?
No, it's a drama.
No, it's a
Okay.
drama. It's based it's based off a novel. Like it's kind of a historical fiction type thing.
Gotcha.
I also
what's
haven't
been going on
seen-
in your world.
That movie was it 1917? Have any of you seen that movie?
No.
Yes, excellent movie.
I haven't seen that.
I want to see that still. That was the one that was shot as one continuous.
Yeah. Yes.
It is excellent.
Yes,
Yeah.
on the big screen, Joseph's badass. On my that was the first movie I watched when they finished my screen, my theater room.
Okay. Yeah, I want to watch it. It's on the list. There are a lot of movies I still have to see.
Right?
So yeah, I still haven't seen Tenet. I wanted to see
I
that.
haven't seen that.
That
I
one's
wanted
an
to
odd
see-
one.
Sicario was Sean Gonzalez told me he's like you have to watch that. Sicario. and
Sicario was really good.
Yeah, I haven't seen those either. I want to watch
Yeah.
those.
Lee
I always
told me
forget
to
about these
watch it.
movies. It's like late at night and you're looking for something. You're like, yeah, that will do. And I
I don't know
I
if
always
y'all-
forget like the ones you want to see. You know,
Yeah.
find them.
Have you seen
Sorry,
The
Michael.
Watcher? The
The
Watcher?
Watcher. Yes. Yes.
Lee told me about that. I like binge watched tonight, and the ending just freaking sucked. I couldn't even believe I watched all the hours of that show.
That both of them were still watching the house at the end.
He set
Yeah.
you. He
Yeah.
set you up,
Hey,
Michael. He's
spoiler
I
like,
alert.
guess I'm not going to watch it now.
Yeah, exactly.
he set you up. He knew it was a shitty ending, so he's like,
Yeah,
Michael, you got to invest time and watch this.
it's ridiculous.
That's
It's
pretty funny.
ridiculous.
Did
Anyway,
you
I
guys
was
watch-
asking Matt what's been going on in your world, Matt.
Yeah. What's up, man?
Oh, well, it's been kind of a crazy month because I was out here. I got here like the day after the hurricane hit.
Oh wow.
So it's like, it was, and luckily, it hit the Gulf Coast pretty bad, but here it was a tropical storm. The eye went right over our house. And
Wow.
but I'm trying to get my wife ready for this storm. We had hurricane started and everything else. And it's like her and her mother were here and my two boys. So it was like I'm trying to tell her how to set up the generator just in case they need it. And then she's asking me how a socket wrench works. So this, you can just tell this is going over the phone. So, I mean, yeah, it was a rough couple of weeks, but then my company got a remote work opportunity that came through. So I'm doing that. So instead of like working from home, I now live at work.
Yeah.
But I got out here about, it was 2 weeks ago tomorrow. So it was, it's good. You know, just being with the family is great.
Good.
And,
Yeah, I know you were all by your lonesome.
Oh, that was brutal.
It
I
would
don't
have
want
been
to do
cool to
that
see you when
again.
I was in Colorado, Matt. But yeah, you were.
Oh no, yeah, you were up in Estes, and
Yeah,
the Springs
so
was
far.
totally different. But
Yeah.
So it's nice. Now I'm Florida man.
Well, good, man.
Nice.
Good.
But it was fun.
Good
We
for you.
it was a bit of a date. I'm probably not gonna stay on too. It's been kind of a long day. We got the kids up today, and we went up. The Kennedy Space Center is like just up the road.
Oh, nice.
So
Awesome.
we went up there. I got some good pictures of Artemis. It's out on 39B or 39A.
Wow.
But we did. There's like a bus tour you take. It goes up around like the vehicle assembly building. And I remember when I was 5. Excuse me. And my parents took me and my brother, and took my sister too. That was on the drive down from New York to Florida. My mom was like, "I think I'm pregnant." My dad's like, "No, you're not." And she turned about as green as the carburetor and goes, "Oh, maybe you are." So my sister was there too. But when I was a kid, this is like 76. I was 5 years old, and we went. Yeah, it was summer '76 because we went to Disney World, and then we came out here to the Kennedy Space Center, and we could actually walk. We walked inside the vehicle assembly building.
Wow.
So I'm standing there, and I'm just saying, they're telling me how they like assembled like the Saturn V, all the moon rockets and everything in there, and I'm just like, yeah, this is what I want to do.
You know, I wonder why out of all the time that's gone by, and this is going to be a whole big conversation, and I bet me and Matt will probably have different. No, but seriously though, that they even made a movie about like it was a scam, like they really never landed.
They totally faked it.
Do you think that?
Well, yeah. Well, the thing is that they got Stanley Kubrick. I mean, usually you watch The Shining and stuff later. They got Stanley Kubrick to film the moon landing.
Right.
Okay, wait a minute,
But
guys.
now here's the thing. Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish.
Here we go.
Here we go.
No, Mike, let me finish.
Yeah.
No,
But
really.
the thing is about Stanley
Ben.
Kubrick is he is such a perfectionist. This thing costs a lot of money because Stanley Kubrick is such a perfectionist. He demanded to film on location.
Yeah.
Wait for it.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute.
No, they
hang
didn't
on.
fake the moon landing. They actually went. Dear God.
Of course
Okay,
they
I
went.
thought you were serious.
Matt with his
Matt,
NASA.
you're an asshole.
NASA.
You did that on purpose.
Yeah, I got this.
Yeah, with his NASA shirt.
You know,
Yeah.
I was going to say, did you ask them? No, but seriously, I mean, let's start with Gabe. Do you think they really landed on the moon?
So 18
NASA, the first volume.
Okay,
yeah,
but
18,
we haven't got to you yet.
18-year-old Gabe would have said absolutely not. There's too much evidence to show that they were behind in the Cold War. They needed to really show dominance in space. And I would have said no. And especially after there's this documentary called Zeitgeist. I don't know if anybody's watched it, but you watch these documentaries, and this was before conspiracy theories were mainstream, right? Like there was, I think, a lot of evidence to show that it wasn't, right, that it wasn't real. But reasonable adult Gabe will tell you that they probably did.
You can see
Okay,
photographs
Jeff.
of the landing sites and
Jeff,
the
I
rover
know.
tracks in the last two guys. It happened.
Okay, Matt, I'm not at you yet. Jeff.
No, I think it did happen too. I mean, I guess I would get with Gabe too, where it's like, as an adult, I'm kind of like, yeah, there's no way they would fake that, right? I mean, there's too much evidence against like them not faking it. So
Okay, Matt, we know what you thought. Yeah. So what about you, Scott?
I think Kubrick definitely filmed it. If they went or not, I don't know, but I think it was filmed as a backup. in case, because here's the things. You know, we're in what year? 2022. I walk into my kitchen and I lose Wi-Fi. How are they transmitting that shit?
Yeah.
You know, all the way at that time, that's going to be within low latency. I mean, you would think it'd be like, hello, and 20 minutes later, maybe they hear it.
It's a 2-second delay from here to the moon.
Okay.
I mean, that's the speed of light.
Now I know we're going to get this sophisticated answer. Joseph, what do you think?
Okay, yeah. So yes, we went to the moon.
I know you have some badass
I've
No, but Joseph probably
actually
talked to all the people that went to the moon next to him at a restaurant. So
no, but I spent a lot of time looking at all of the arguments right against it, and the problem is the problem is that they don't really hold up, like all of the things that people talk about and cite, as you see, you know, the flag, you know, wouldn't be
waving,
fluttering, and there's no wind in space, but there's reasons that all these things took place, and a lot of people like cite the fact that you know, that you don't see any stars in the pictures, but you know, as a photographer, Ben, you know, right, about dynamic range and so anyway, point being, I think we went, but the biggest piece of evidence that I think people should really consider
is the part when it takes off and you're thinking, who got left behind and filmed that?
No, they had a camera set up.
That's on the camera on the rover.
Yeah, they had it. They actually had a camera set up. No, here's the big.
You're like, wait, damn it, I got left.
Wait,
let me change my mind. We didn't.
Who's staying behind?
Here's the biggest piece of reasoning, and you don't even need evidence for this one. Who were the people that stood to gain the most by calling out a hoax? It would have been the Soviet Union. And yet, in all this time, the Soviets never even once thought to say, oh, it's all a hoax, they didn't go to the moon, right? I mean, if there was anyone who would have known and called it out, were the people that were spying on us the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay, and they never called it into question, and yet they were the ones that were most embarrassed by losing that race.
Have we been back to the moon since?
Yeah, well, we went 6 times. There were 7 missions. We went
Scott
6.
is kind of like me a little bit. I haven't got.
I'm just asking because there's been so many different things that I've heard through the years.
Oh no,
and things that make you question stuff. You know.
No, but
the reason we haven't gone back is politics.
And budgets and budgetary regions, but and the fact that a lot of it was for we went there for political reasons.
Right.
After we went there and we did our missions and we did the science, there wasn't really, people lost interest. And when people lost interest, when the American public lost interest, there wasn't really a reason to go back. It's not like we were doing anything there.
Right.
But the other thing I was going to say is we have sent, I mean, they've sent surveyors, satellites, they've sent rovers there, and the satellites that they send to map the moon show the landing sites.
Yeah. You can
they
see
show
the
tracks of the road, of the and where they left the experiments, and so I mean, I don't think there's much of a question.
No.
But hey, so there's a movie that was made in the late 70s. Mm-hmm. Have y'all seen that movie that I'm talking about?
Capricorn 1 or something?
Yeah, it's like
where they filmed the whole...
I think that was the one they were faking the Mars landing.
That's
Oh, okay.
The thing is,
that's a different story.
The big thing about this is
I didn't realize that
the moon. If we didn't land on the moon, it was all a big conspiracy. The thing is that conspiracy would be so vast, and include so many people, and no one talked. Give me a break.
Yeah, I mean, how many people were? I think I was watching Fareed Zakaria, I think, was talking about this at one point, and he said that they've done the calculations. Given the number of people that were involved in that project, that if it wasn't real, it would have got out. Look, if you put 5 people in a room together and tell them to keep a secret, somebody lets it out, right? I mean, it's just there were hundreds of thousands of people involved.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
But real quick, I know, Benjamin, you haven't said anything, but I'm going to jump in.
Oh, I'm just listening. This is fun.
Yeah. So, but with Scott, though, but what Scott is saying is, and this. So, look, if you had to ask me, do I think it happened? Yeah, they did land, but this is the only question that is just, I don't want to say concerning, but it's like, I would think with everything now, it'd be so easy to do, and yet we haven't done that. You know what I mean? So
again, but why? I mean, they're talking about doing.
I do wonder if some of the footage was recreated, or I mean, I don't doubt that we went to the moon, but some of the shots, and not so much the stars in the background, like you mentioned, but I do know some of the sources of light when you're dealing with the sun or the moon from, you know, the sun from so far away. So I know from photography, when I want to recreate natural sunlight, an 8-inch reflector, so a bare head, no softbox, it's 27 feet away to recreate natural sunlight without clouds from a single 8.5 or 8-inch reflector 27 feet away. And that has the same, it's called the penumbra, or the same amount of spread when it hits what it's coming from, as though it was the same distance further away to the sun itself on Earth. Now, of course, that changes for the moon. So, but I do know that some of the footage, there was some thoughts that there was a different penumbra hitting some of the scenes where it was from a much closer or larger light source. So,
well,
there are some things. So like you said,
really
maybe there were some shots where they, like you said, they did them just in case, and maybe they mixed them in together. But I mean, I don't doubt that
they did accidentally put like stuff from like training or something like that that ended up in like official shots that wasn't correct. But they've admitted that.
Yeah.
Now, like far from Death Star. That's funny.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
That is hilarious.
I've never seen that. I would love
You've
to
never
see
seen
that.
that video, Michael? I'll send it to you.
No.
It is
I'll take a look.
hilarious.
You know
Yeah, I
what's
don't
funny
want to
was
say
when
He
anything.
was
I'm
80
afraid.
years old.
Huh?
And he was
Oh, yeah.
80 years old, and this young guy, like in his 30s, comes up and starts like getting in his face and saying how you're lying to the public, and blah, and he just decks him, knocks this guy out at 80
that's
years old.
awesome.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
He's like, "Do you know who I am? I'm Buzz Aldrin." Boom.
I'm actually afraid to say anything now because Buzz Aldrin might pop out from
Yeah,
behind and punch
exactly.
me too. So
Now, here, that being said, look, there have been plenty of instances where the U.S. government or governments have falsified stuff, have made up stuff for various reasons, right? To go to war and things like that.
Yeah, for
we
sure.
see that over and over and
I
over.
think it makes for distrusting people, and I don't
Exactly.
think,
So it's very easy to question these things, right? But the problem is that we live in a society now where, okay, well, if the U.S. government lied about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, that automatically translates to, well, then we didn't go to the moon and the Earth is flat, and and all of that, and that's not necessarily the case, right? Because
No, I think there's also other theories. There's other things that are out there, like the Kubrick videos and things, and you start wondering, you start questioning things. Doesn't mean that that's what I believe or whatever, but I question things, and I'm curious.
Question. You should always be skeptical about everything that you're ever presented with in life,
and that's what advances science, right? Is that if you question it, it advances it because people have to.
But it's okay to question because there are legitimate answers for all of these things, right? And, it's easy to call stuff into question all the time, but you need proof. And the proof is there. I mean, it's been presented many times. And interestingly, the guy who brought up this whole moon landing hoax thing, the story behind that guy is very interesting.
It was Neil Armstrong.
No, it wasn't Neil Armstrong. No, it was some guy. It was some guy who said that he worked for Rocketdyne, right? And how he said that the engines never worked and all this. And it turns out that he wasn't an engineer for Rocketdyne. In the end, it turns out he was like writing some manuals for them, but was never involved in any of the engineering. And it's a very interesting story. But he wrote this book and he made a bunch of money off of it, but the guy wasn't really credible. And then it just perpetuated this whole, I mean, it's a lot of it is like the Kennedy assassination, right? I mean, you know how many.
Well,
And I love all those old conspiracy theories from like the 50s and the 60s.
Right.
I think they're like, it's now American pop culture lore. Like,
Right.
Oh yeah.
Kennedy assassination, the Marilyn Monroe assassination.
Mhm.
I mean, all those assassinations that happened in that time frame. I mean, those have all become part of American, lore, right? Like people question everything around that time. But it's it's cool. It's almost nostalgic, right? Because it was like what is that? They phrase it as like the death of the innocence of the American culture, right? Where it's like all of a sudden it just sent us into this new era.
Well, the thing is when you get something, and especially when like you have, say, like government officials say something and it doesn't seem to add up, your brain just when you're presented with something that doesn't make sense, it's just natural human nature to try to find a way to make it make sense.
Right.
Well, you're also brought up.
Some people go off the rails like that.
You're also brought up, even with your parents. You know what I mean? That whatever they say is it. That's the truth every single time. Until that one time they lie to you and you learn it. And you're like, wait a minute. You start to question everything else. Well, and that's kind of the same thing. Is that we've all been brought up. We've learned certain things. Doesn't mean I don't believe it or whatever. But then as you hear other things, you start to wonder.
Oh yeah.
Like every food is spicy.
Right.
or like
yeah, you won't like lobster.
Frito shot Han.
Yeah.
And if all of that's untrue, then that means Omega, the Moon Watch, and Hasselblad never went to the moon. Everything I've been told my whole life is a lie.
So
could be.
If you guys ever really want to, you want to watch something that'll make you really question the reality, of what we're given sometimes. Is there was a movie that came out about a decade ago, or maybe more. It was called The Fog of War, and I don't know if any of you have ever seen it, but it's an interview with Bob McNamara, right? Okay. And I don't know. Do you guys know who that is?
Hold on, Marcel. I used to go drinking with Santa Claus when I lived in Alaska. He is totally real guy.
So Bob McNamara was the Secretary of State under Kennedy, and he was the Secretary of Defense under Johnson. And he was the architect of the Vietnam War. And before he died, he wrote a book that basically exposed the whole, like, how it was all a lie. They, the Gulf of Tonkin incident that basically that spurred Congress to pass the resolution to allow them to send 500,000 American soldiers there. Mm-hmm. Didn't really happen, and that they knew they couldn't win the war, but they kept lying to the American public. I mean, he basically exposed all this stuff just before he died, and this is an interview with him just before he died, and he talks about all of this, and it's amazing. And the stuff that he talks about, you see it today when you watch TV. One of the things that really struck me when he was being interviewed, he said he learned very quickly that being in politics, he learned when dealing with the press, you don't answer the question you're asked. You answer the question you wish you were. No, you answer the question you wish you were asked. Mm-hmm. And watch politicians on TV today.
Oh yeah.
And you will find that that's exactly what they do. They all do that.
That's true. Did you hear about Joseph? Did you read about the guy that supposedly, and this is another conspiracy deal. There's two people out there supposedly that created a motor that runs on water, and they end up getting poisoned or end up dying.
Isn't there like some documentary on that?
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Look, I mean, there are obviously lots of situations where there are industries that will suffer if something like that exists, and so they have a motivation, right,
to buy it or kill them,
right? But the reality, but the problem is that there is science, right? There are laws of chemistry and physics, mm-hmm. and those things, if they were possible, there would be many scientists who have, devised, at least theoretically, a way to do that. But there isn't some guy in his garage that created a motor that can function on water, and he figured it out, and nobody else in the world knows how this works. And, I mean, that's the way I see it, right?
I got to stop working on that engine in my garage.
Yeah, but for example, but but I'm giving you that example, right? But on the
That's a
flip
good one.
side, look at the electric car. I mean, the technology has been around for a long time. There's a reason that the technology hasn't been developed all these years, right? Like you remember the documentary "Who Killed the Electric Car"?
Yeah.
Right now, imagine an auto manufacturer creates an electric car, right? They put it out to all the people to test it. The people who are testing it love it so much that at the end of the beta test period, they don't want to give their cars back. If you were the head of that company, wouldn't you say, well, shit, we've got a gold mine.
Yeah.
You know, these people don't want to give back their cars. We should start manufacturing these things. No, but instead, what do? They kill the project and they bury everything. Well, obviously, something's going on there, right? There's a reason.
Yeah.
And on next week's show, Neil deGrasse Tyson will be joining us.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Joseph. Though I don't. You know, they say that with the electric cars thing, I'm an old school gasoline smelling guy. I don't ever
Carburetors, not fuel injected, right?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So the thing is, though, is they say that you know, for when it comes to the planet and everything, the batteries are supposedly really bad. You know, they say
well, they're not. Look, well, they're not. Look, you're not saving the environment with an electric car.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The bottom line is, the electricity still has to come from somewhere, and it's mostly coming from power plants that are burning coal.
I think it's 200,000 miles before you even break even because of the transport costs of getting the raw materials here from overseas. And that's if you can go 200,000 miles on the same set of batteries. Because
I mean, the battery, it's being mined in China.
Right.
Well,
but
and the thing is, you got to replace that battery. That's $25,000.
But they ship the batteries over using magic jelly beans, so that's actually good for
magic jelly beans.
No, but Michael, put aside all the environmental concerns. I've been driving an electric car for 4 years. I will never go back.
Yeah.
Because the performance is better. I don't have to go to a gas station. I don't have to pay money for gas. I don't have to do any maintenance on the car. I don't have to get oil changes. There are no fluids other than the windshield washer fluid. Like, from just a practical standpoint, hands down, I'll never go back to a gas car.
And
so
Joseph,
first off, that's your problem.
That's my problem.
Yeah, that's your problem. And second, but seriously, Joseph,
I haven't been to a gas station in 4 years. It's
I know,
awesome.
and I get that. So look, I was going to buy the new Taycan electric car.
Yeah.
You know, when I went to buy it, I ended up getting the 911. And the reason that I didn't buy the Taycan is because the range, and I'm sure this is going to change in the future, but the 300 miles, I'm like nervous to, you know, run out of power and shit. So
but 300, how much do you get on a full tank of gas?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but you can fill up the tank and get back on the road.
Yeah,
no, that's true. But I guess
that's my thing, Scott. I'm just, and I'm old school.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Internal combustion, my friend.
No, have you guys ever seen a series, and it touches on Star Wars? So right after, well, first of all, it's what's the name of the motorcycle series? Robin, you can holler from the other room.
But excuse me, guys, I just got to go get my charger. I'm gonna die here.
Sure. So you and
battery car.
Yeah.
If that phone was gas powered,
So you and McGregor did the series right after he was in Star Wars, and I think he's on his third one now. The third series
Didn't
was
they
only
drive all the way through South America?
Isn't it like the long?
Yeah, the long way around, the long way down,
around.
then the long way up. That's what it was. I could not think of it. But the last one was really cool. They partnered with Harley Davidson, and it was all electric. So they did Harley Davidson motorcycles that were electric, and they partnered with, all their support vehicles were Rivian, so electric vehicles. And it was a really interesting show. If you guys haven't seen it, I would recommend it. But the last one, I can't remember what that was. If it was Amazon Prime, I think it was Amazon Prime. May have been Netflix, but it's worth watching.
An electric bike, a Nyrica for my birthday. Those are badass. Have y'all seen those Nyrikas?
No.
Those mountain bikes, they're pretty cool.
So
Oh,
I
they're really
still
good.
have. So
They're
I
like-
still have a bike that Robin and I are talking this week. I think I'm going to go ahead and sell it and put it towards some Star Wars props or a new iMac Pro or something. I still have a 2004 Trek 5800 Tour de France bike, a team issue bike.
Cool.
And I used to ride that a lot, and I haven't ridden it in like 10 years because it's scary. I used to ride and get up to like 60 miles an hour, when you're wearing basically like nothing. And I'm like, yeah, man, if you fall, it's usually either your hip or your collarbone or an arm. And I just started getting older and realizing, yeah, it's not probably the smartest.
Hey, Joseph, is that BMW? Is that
The one that I ordered?
Yeah. Is that electric?
It's full electric.
Yeah.
Michael, have you
I saw badass Audi, that new Audi electric car.
Yeah.
That's badass. It looks a lot like the Porsche, I think.
The sports one, the RS.
Yeah, it looks the wheels are badass.
It's beautiful. Look, so here's the thing. How many of you, I know Gabe has, how many of you guys have driven an electric car?
I have not.
I'm not even doing.
Have you, Michael, have you?
I've not.
Okay.
I'm sure I will love it, but for long trips, it's not going to work for me.
Well, you couldn't have, Joe. You could not do the drive I just did 2 weeks ago. From
No. And that's the thing. Well, I can't do it either. I mean, we'd have to take a gas, gas.
I take that back. I've driven golf carts.
Okay, well, let me tell you something. Michael, go test drive a Tesla Model S and go 0 to 60 in 1.6 seconds, and then tell me you want to go back and drive a gas-powered car.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
So here's the thing. Yeah. I was super against us getting an electric car. My wife was set on it. Like, she was like 100% set on it, and I was like, no, look, it's still too early. Like, where are we going to charge it? Like, it's going to be crazy amount of money and this and that. And my wife, being this, stubborn as she is, she's like, I'm gonna get it. I don't care. So she ordered a Tesla, right? And it was she ordered the Model S, and I was like, why you order the Model S? Get the Model X. I want the wings. Yeah, like I want the
gold wings. Karate Kid.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell? And she's like, no, that's too expensive. It's so ridiculous just for the wings and this and that. And I was like, all right, then what the heck? So anyway, she orders it. She's going through that whole thing. I got my Camaro, right? I'm kind of, I do. I love muscle cars. I wouldn't see myself driving an electric car. So we had a bunch of arguments about it. I'm like, what are you going to do? Now we're going to spend more money to like set up our house to have like an electric plug. And like, now what happens if you run out of electricity in the middle of nowhere? Where are you going to go do it? So yeah, I was totally against it. But now the thing is, so the rapid charging, I think that was a game changer. And that was a game changer for me because, so look, our car will only make it to Disneyland. It won't make it back, right? That's my point.
You have the ID. Yeah. You're talking about the ID4, the Volkswagen.
The ID4, yeah. We have the Volkswagen ID4. Mm-hmm. And so we get to Disneyland and then that's it. Like we only got a couple miles to go back. So we have to always charge at Disneyland. But there's been times where actually, like northern part of San Diego, we'll stop and our battery will go from like 5% to like 80% in about 15 to 20 minutes. So it's not that bad, right? So what happens is we'll stop at a Target or a Walmart. We go to the rapid chargers, we plug it in, and, we'll sit there, look at our phones for 15, 20 minutes, and then we're back on the road. The problem is that it's an extra step because you have to map it, right? Because you have to like look for the rapid station or else you're going to get stuck charging your car for like an hour.
Right.
So that's, I think, the worst part of it, right? Is the fact that you have to plan ahead with electric cars because they're not as accessible as gas stations. But now how much money I spent on gas on the Camaro compared to how my wife, I'm just like, oh my God, like I could buy another car with how much I'm spending in gas. Like it's
that's because you live in California.
Yeah. I mean,
well, here's the thing. I'm all for saving the environment, but my decision about the electric car is purely a practical one. And that is just what I told you. You know how much I spent to fuel my car for the month? $20. And now that people are going nuts about the gas prices. I'm like, I don't even know what gas costs anymore. I don't go to the gas station.
$6.
Right? Yeah, $6 a gallon.
No, it's only
No,
like
it's $2.99 here in
$3.15.
Texas.
It's $3.50. It's
$6.99
$3.15 here.
But here's the thing. It's not just that, right? It's the not having to do any maintenance on the car, right? Not having to change oil, not having to waste my time.
Well, you'll have a big one, right? You won't have anything for a while, and
Yeah,
then all of a
until
sudden
your
it'll be
bag gotta change over
$25,000 for a new battery, or $10,000 or whatever.
Right. Well, and of course that's
I
part
didn't
of
know
it.
that stuff.
Now look, I do lease my car, so it's a little different, right?
You're like, get it away.
Yeah,
before
and
it
so
breaks.
I don't have to deal
Well,
with
you're still paying that. You're just paying it every month because obviously you're not paying off something that you own.
Well, I always
Right.
So
thought,
it's
I
pros
always
and
thought
cons.
if
But
it was
my
a new
lease is-
car, you're paying monthly. If it's a used car, you're not going to pay anything until it hits.
Right.
Till the
And
repair.
Joseph,
It's one way or the
Joseph,
other.
your other vehicle runs off of what, vegetables, right?
mine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your
your
other one in the
DeLorean.
garage.
No, it runs off of dead dinosaurs.
Okay.
Dinosaurs.
Oh, it doesn't have a
You
Mr.
haven't, so you
Fusion
haven't
on
made
it?
the
I haven't made
veggie
the conversion
veggie
with,
upgrade.
with
Okay.
Mr.
Hey, but I've seen Instagram posts of those electric cars in lines waiting to get charged, dude. It looks like it's a nightmare.
What we need.
I don't know. I've never been in that situation. I don't know because I drive my car all day. I come home, I plug it in at night. The next morning, it's good to go.
And,
It's
and
back
look,
to 100%.
and look, here's the thing. I mean, I understand what Joseph is saying. His commute is ideal for his vehicle.
Right.
So
Right.
Yeah.
I assume,
No,
Joseph,
I'm
you have
not
two
knocking it
cars,
at all.
right? I mean, other than the DeLorean, you still have two
Oh yeah,
other
my
cars, right?
my wife has. Yeah, I mean, I would never drive to Seattle with an electric car.
Yeah, so I mean, you
but
have
my wife will drive her
for
gas
80 or
powered.
90% of your use case, you use the Tesla for the commutes that it is
Right.
ideal for. If you're going somewhere longer, you can take a gasoline powered
What we
vehicle.
need
I
is
agree.
I'll
Elon
let
Musk
you-
to take
I'll
the
let you
Tesla
guys-
car. And
I'll
then
let you guys know how it goes because pretty soon in the next week or so, we're going to be taking a trip from San Diego to San Francisco in the electric car. So I'm kind of curious how that's going to. This is the first time we've ever traveled long distance. So I'm kind of curious, especially in that long. There's a long stretch, right? Like the Grapevine and all that. Like I'm kind of curious how we're going to have to time that, and we're going to have to.
Don't take the Pacific Coast Highway. I think you'll be boned on.
I saw somebody do a rant. They got a electric car, a Tesla or whatever for the family because I thought it would be fun, whatever. And they were coming from Oregon, I think, down to California to Disneyland. And she was fuming at the end of it because she's like, this would have been, 12-hour trip. It is now turned into 24 hours because of all the stopping and the charging and the rapid charging.
Yeah,
and
you
all
can't.
that
You
other
can't
stuff.
do it. You can't. I would never take a long road trip. If
Trip
I were
on
going
it,
on a
yeah.
road trip, if I owned an electric car only and didn't have a gas powered backup,
Right.
and I were going to take a trip, I would rent a car
Yeah.
to do it. But I will tell you, the other great thing about it is the performance. I mean, the torque on an electric motor is unreal. In fact, I should say that's the only maintenance issue, is that you have to rotate your tires more often because they wear a lot worse because of the torque on the motor. I mean, it's unbelievable. You hit that pedal and
Now, do you go with softer tires or?
yeah,
You probably do, right?
I drive really hard. I like to drive fast, stop fast.
Joseph's car only has 2 speeds. One of them is stop.
Hey guys, I'm gonna head out. I got
Ludicrous
Hey,
speed.
Jeff.
I was up late last night, so
Bye, Jeff.
I will,
Have fun.
Jeff,
It's
I
nice
should have worn
seeing
my
you.
Yankee shirt.
good to see you.
Seeing
Yeah,
Jeff, it's
Red
good to
Oh,
see
we got
you.
to see.
Sox
Yeah,
crap.
Astros won, by the way. And
Yeah, I saw that.
Thanks for jumping on, Jeff. It's always
yeah,
good
man.
to see
Happy
you.
birthday. So,
Thank you.
all
So
right,
much.
guys, take it easy.
Bye, Jeff.
Hey,
Have
See you
fun.
again.
Enjoy your
Good
Sunday.
night.
See you guys.
Yeah.
I was going to say an interesting thing with the electric cars in Japan. So one of the guys that works on the newer keyboards and things that are coming out, he's always like, years in advance. So whatever's coming out in the next 4 years, he's working on right now, whether if it's sound or testing or whatever. Well, in Japan with the electric cars, too many people were getting hit because they make no sound.
Yeah.
They're quiet.
Well, they
So
changed
he had to develop sounds for the electric cars out there so that people knew that
Wasn't
they
that a
were
movie
there.
with Kevin James and Vince Vaughn? And that was
Yes.
like the thing they were making the cars, like because they were making like an electric muscle car, but they needed to make it sound like a V8.
Right.
Yep.
Well,
But that's a true thing. Yeah.
All the new cars, yeah. Like so, our ID4, it sounds like a spaceship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that today. I
But
heard
it's like
one
a big sound. But it's like a woo.
Yeah, it's badass sound.
Well, they have to make some sound, otherwise the pedestrians
People get
don't
hit.
know the car
Yeah.
is coming. And
Mhm.
yeah, it's
Well,
yeah.
think
I would
about
actually-
think about the ADA, right? Like just the Disabilities Act. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you
So
know,
if I had a Tesla, I would have to put the Stuka dive horn on the front. The air powered that. Okay, that's a selling point right there. I
Right.
would do that.
Now, Ben, full disclosure, I don't drive a Tesla. I
okay.
have an experimental electric car from Honda
Of course you do. Yeah.
But here's
God
here's
forbid you have
kicker.
anything normal, Joseph.
Here's the
I'm
kicker.
waiting for the
And,
Tesla
and it was built
Model
from a guy in his
ATST.
garage, right,
No,
Joseph?
no.
It was built-
Here's the kicker. The kicker is because it's an
And they were
experimental
killed.
car, I get to lease it for $199 a month.
Oh, damn you.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
That's awesome.
that's another reason I'm happy about
Really,
it.
I think the game changer in the electric car industry will be when Elon Musk figures out to make the body of the Tesla car out of the Tesla roof, so it can charge while it drives.
Yeah, that would be a way. I mean, that's eventually on its way at some point.
Yeah.
If there's money to be made on it, this is the problem because free energy is out there. They just won't let it happen.
It's gotta happen at some point.
You would think, right?
Look, the electric cars that we have now are not the answer to anything, right? It's either gotta be hydrogen fuel cell cars. But again, where are you going to get the hydrogen, right? To produce hydrogen is costly and it takes a lot of
water.
electricity.
Just run a hose from here to the sun.
Yeah.
Plenty of
What's
hydrogen
badass
there.
is these new
1.21 gigawatts.
the drones.
Right.
That's just to run the electric
The
for the time
drones?
circuit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The
What's
engine
cool-
was gas powered, Gabe.
Yeah.
The drones nowadays. I mean, you can definitely see that's going to be practical to have those flying cars out of those drones. Just the way the design of them.
I was promised a flying car by the year 2000. I have really been disappointed in adulthood.
Yeah,
But I'll tell you what, I've been watching some of them. They're pretty badass.
No, I've seen them
Oh,
too.
the
They're really
drones.
cool.
When they come out with a Tesla Model ATST, then I'll jump on.
you walk.
I don't care how slow it is. That'll be worth it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I can
But
range
Michael-
20 miles fine.
When I get that BMW, by the way, it went into production. So I should get it in about a month and a half.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Let me tell you, it's the nicest car I've ever driven. I'm so excited for that thing. It's just, I mean, it handles like a BMW, and the electric motor produces so much torque. It's just unreal.
So
And it gets 300 miles to a charge. Is that
Those
what
electric bikes are cool.
the electric bikes are awesome?
Is that what you got for your birthday, Michael?
Yeah, man. Isn't that
That's
cool?
Oh, yeah. By the way, Mike, happy birthday. This is
Thank
supposed
you.
to be
Yeah,
your birthday
it does
show.
like 39 miles an hour.
Oh, that's
Oh, wow.
nice.
And it lasts, it could go almost 70 miles too.
Wear a
Gabe?
helmet.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wear a helmet, Michael.
Yeah.
Gabe,
Wow.
I'm going to send you some pictures really fast.
But hey, off the what we've been talking about on a serious note, I want you to know I'm really impressed with the Skyhopper, Gabe. I really am. Man.
Oh, yeah, those things are cool.
We got to see your progress.
So who else here? Yeah, that thing is just really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at that in mine and damn. So
Gabe,
so
you're supposed to fly it around.
yeah.
I know, right?
So I know Joseph has one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and who else? Does anybody else? Scott, do you have one?
I don't know.
I've got one. I just got the decals the other day. I haven't had a chance to get into it, but I'm also trying to figure out what do I still need, because that seems to be the problem with these types of models is there's always missing things and you have to track it down.
Well,
I have
who was it that got one and it fell and broke? Was that
Brian.
one of you guys?
Brian
Oh,
dioramas by Brian. He had it done and it fell off the table.
Oh,
Hey, Scott, I got a lot of brass parts left over.
Mhm.
I ended up kind of picking up all the brass parts. Got a bunch of brass parts left over. I have, let's see what else you can use.
Because I know you were talking about the swizzle stick, so I guess
Swizzle
I have to
sticks,
get
yeah.
one of those.
I got tons of those. So
Okay.
I accidentally ordered 2 packs of 10.
Oh,
They're
wow.
different colors, but there's at least 4 red ones in each one. So
Okay.
the tones are a little off. I think there might only be 2 that are the right color. But yeah, just let me know. And I'll get
Yeah.
Thank you, Tony.
Absolutely. Yes, please. Please put me down
Gabe,
on the
I
list.
need a couple of pictures if you want to show.
do it. Oh, you sent me?
Do it.
I sent you 2 pictures.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Thanks for watching, Tanya.
Oh, your BMW. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's badass. I tried to talk him into the Porsche, but he didn't get it.
This car was just too nice.
Oh, wow. That's a beautiful color, too.
Yeah, the color is just gorgeous. It's this they call it frozen Portimao blue.
For me, it would be frozen bank account. But yeah.
This is the Macquarie Concept Blue.
This is the Macquarie. Yeah, this is just beautiful.
Yeah. When do you get that?
That's gorgeous, dude.
In about a month and a half or so.
Wow.
Exciting.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I don't usually get, other than my DeLorean, I don't usually get super excited about cars because they're really just a practical thing, right? But this car is just, I was just so over the moon when I saw this thing and drove it, and
Man, it's unbelievable, the DeLorean. I was talking to Joseph. It's crazy. Those cars are going now for a minimum. So pre-COVID, those things, you could find them for 25 grand all day long. And now if you could find one under 100 grand stock.
Crazy.
Oh, really?
Me and Joseph talked about this. I think at the time I was honestly seriously gonna get a DeLorean. Now,
Me too. I'd get one.
Yeah. And at that time when we were talking, I think it was early 2020 or somewhere around then, right, Joseph?
Yeah.
And, you could still find them for
50,
25, 30. You could find
it depends on the condition, right? There's a steep curve.
Right.
So, because if you find one that's like mint, it's super, super expensive. But then it's just like diamonds, right?
Yeah.
The ones that are colorless are like extremely expensive. And then if you go with just a little bit of color that you can't actually see with your eye, all of a sudden the price plummets.
Yeah.
You know what's happening now is Danny at DMC in California, and that suspender wearing dude in Dallas. If you
not
see,
me.
Yeah, dude. Anyways, if they see them, they're gonna buy them because they can, create the Back to the Future. You figure 75% of the people out there looking for one of those would probably like to have a Back to the Future version.
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I got lucky as a kid when I grew up in the late 70s, early 80s. A guy around the corner wrote for Road and Track. So he'd constantly bring home, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and especially, a DeLorean after Back to the Future. All of us would be like, wow, this is it. This is the one, So we got to see him. We got to drive in a couple of them with him when we were little. But man, that was cool to see that stuff, because no internet. Everybody here remembers no internet, and to see that stuff, you had to physically see it,
So Joseph, if you ever want to upgrade your motor, there's some people down here that do some badass conversions.
Well, let me tell you something. At some point I pride myself in the fact that the car is all original.
Right.
But man, I tell you, it's not easy. A car that's 40 some years old.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm 52 and I'm all original.
But it's the problem is, look.
But do you work, Scott?
It's not the year. I can tell you now, but just looking at my knees and back, it's not the years, it's the mileage.
What were you saying though, Joseph?
No, but here's the thing. The problem is I'm not a mechanic, right? And I don't know internal combustion engines as well as other people to know, when something goes wrong or what I should do. Or it's like I call Mike Salzo all the time. He's like, oh yeah, you could just do this or do that. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But the thing is that a car that old, there's so many issues, the leaks that develop and, you get electrical problems and stuff. And not like the DeLoreans weren't the best made cars to begin with.
A
So
lot of cocaine went into those things, man.
yeah, so it's
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
so
Your-
I mean,
your
yeah,
owner-
I would love it if the car had like a modern engine in it, so I didn't have to constantly deal with.
Did you-
And,
did
and
you put
honestly,
I don't know. I think
Did
the
you put
older
your-
engines are a lot
put your
better
name on
because
the
they
list?
are simpler.
yeah, but here's the problem though. I can't get
No,
anyone
I understand.
to work on the car.
If
Because
you're somebody
nobody's
that likes to
familiar with it.
tinker, like say
Mm-hmm.
like Mike or myself, I like
Yeah.
to tinker with stuff, and I would love to get if
I'm not a
had the
mechanic
garage
either.
space.
I hear
If I
you,
had the
Joseph.
If I had the
100%.
garage space, and I
Yeah,
had the time, I would love to get like an old Triumph Spitfire because I'd have to be
Yeah.
under the bonnet of that thing every weekend.
Yeah.
well, the
But-
other problem I face is there's nobody local to work on the car.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nobody knows the DeLorean anymore. All those guys have retired or died. So
I just think
have
getting
no-
parts for those things would
Cocaine
be hard.
overdose.
Who machines this
Parts are
stuff?
not hard to get because you can order them directly from DMC in Houston.
Mhm.
But but the issue is the mechanics. There are
Well,
no
depending on what parts,
But there-
they're running out of parts, Joseph. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
body parts are readily available, but especially their quarter fenders. But
Well, it's like I got a friend at work,
Mm-hmm.
and he's got a Model A, and he's
Oh,
in a Model A club, and they're driving them all over Colorado, but they got to find guys. They have to specially machine the parts for them.
Yeah,
Wow.
but those guys, if you own one of those
Oh
things,
yeah, and they just
you
they're
gotta
under
know
them.
how
They
to
know
work
every nut and bolt in those things.
that car is beautiful. That new DeLorean,
Oh,
the
yeah.
electric one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm
That's
in
not
a
put
slightly
Mr.
different
Fusion on
boat.
that.
I'm in a slightly different boat. If I could have a vehicle of choice, even if it's not practical, I would take a
Millennium Falcon. Me too.
no. Well, I would take a Defender 90 or a 110. So, just a bit different.
hey, that's that car right there. That's not what it looks like, Joseph. Right?
That's the new electric one.
That is what it looks like, though.
Yeah, that's what
It's
it looks like.
electric. Dun, 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 dun,
Wow.
dun.
But here's the problem. Look, I love that car.
Scott, I hate
I
you so much right now.
mean, that's a really cool car, but I would never buy that because
It's supposed to go in production. That looks badass.
It does
It's
look
supposed to
badass.
be going here in San Antonio.
it's funny. It kind of looks like some of the cars that
Yeah, I
you see
thought that
back
looked
in the
familiar.
future too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
But here's the problem. Like as an electric car, the company that's making it's in Texas, right? What if something goes wrong with it? What if I got to take it to a mechanic? I mean, who's going to service this car? It's not like it's a Honda or a BMW or something, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I love it. I love the idea of it, but it's
Well, it also depends on how many parts are customly made for the vehicle. Dodge
Right.
is like this. All Dodge vehicles, you have to go to a Dodge mechanic because they have special parts that require special tools just for Dodge.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
totally different than that one picture you just showed us.
Is it?
Yeah, it's totally different.
Yeah, it's a different.
Well,
vehicle.
I'm disappointed that in DeLorean the tires don't fold over and it just starts to fly.
Yeah, but this thing here though, it's a totally different company. Even though it's DeLorean,
yeah.
the old DMC DeLorean, they
Oh,
are
yeah.
two totally different companies now.
yeah. She just did a thing with I think what was it, a hydrogen car that runs on that.
This
Super
is
Blonde?
the Blondie.
Yeah,
What's her name? Motor Car Blondie or so? Supercar Blondie.
Supercar Blondie. Yeah.
Yeah, I like her stuff.
I
course
wait
you do.
for Jeremy
We all do,
Clarkson to come
Joseph.
out
We
with
all like
a
her stuff.
review.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah,
though.
Jeremy Clarkson will stuff a V8 in that thing.
What was that, Ben?
No, I said I always just wait for Jeremy Clarkson to come out with a review on any car.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna get
I mean,
that
it's a cool car, but just as a matter of a practical car, I don't know. That wouldn't be my daily driver, I don't think.
Yeah.
Lee, you
Nobody's
can count on
getting
me
that
to
as a
be
daily
driving to the
driver.
gas station. Always.
Yeah, I'm sticking with my
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Jeep. I love
funny.
that thing.
Well,
My Jeep
Gabe,
is-
Gabe, you wanted an electric car with gull wing doors.
There you go.
I know.
Yeah. No, it
badass.
it looks amazing.
Speaking of DeLorean, but thinking of DeLorean back in the day, I always thought it was funny, and I don't know if you guys did too. John DeLorean married Christina Ferrari.
Is it Ferrari or Ferraro?
It's Ferrari. I believe it
is
was
Ferrari.
Ferrari. Yeah.
Okay.
Not the little chocolate balls, Joseph. That's
I
a
just always
different.
thought it was funny.
Ferraro.
Rochero.
Yeah, that's a different family.
No, I'm thinking of Geraldine Ferraro.
Yes.
The woman
That's
who
totally
was the
different.
first vice
Totally
presidential
different.
candidate. Yeah.
That's funny.
You are
I wanted
here.
I wanted to put this up because it's such a funny. Have you guys seen this before?
No.
Yeah.
I think about that all the time, Gabe.
So it's a timeline. Yeah, a timeline of all the movies, and it's like
yeah.
like Clockwork Orange, obviously 2001, Back to the Future 2. So obviously, Blade Runner, we just passed that, right? 19. So we're getting close to
Alien.
We're getting close to Taco Bell being the official restaurant of the United States, right here.
Right.
Demolition Man, 2032.
Oh my God, 12 Monkeys was 2028.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was this decade.
that's crazy.
This is Zardoz. I do not want to wear one of those outfits.
Alien 21, 22.
Yeah.
100 years from now. The Black Hole, The Matrix, The Fifth Element.
Oh,
So even if you think about it, The Fifth Element, that's freaking what?
I'm probably the only one in here that didn't really like that movie.
I like it. I enjoyed it.
I mean, visually it was great. I don't get me
It
wrong.
wasn't my
think
kind
the
of
plot
movie
was just
either,
kind
I'm
of just
sorry.
stopped. And
And you and Mike will have something you agree upon.
really,
It's like
Michael? Yeah.
Logan's
It's
Run
a birthday miracle.
and the Planet of the Apes, especially Logan's Run. I think that's closer. I think that's like maybe next year or so. But
Renew.
Well, it's kind of the same thing. I love the visuals and everything about Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner.
Yeah, me too.
But I didn't care as much for the androids in that. It was just too freaky. It was like Blade Runner mixed with Alice in Wonderland. It was just a little bit too
You
much.
talking about the original, Benjamin?
Yeah, the original. I love the new one.
Yeah,
All of the visuals, like
I
Dune.
mean,
Yeah, I didn't. I'm the
Denis
opposite.
Villeneuve is just amazing.
But how old are you,
Visual
Benjamin?
storytelling.
42.
So you got to look at the timeline when the original Blade Runner came out.
Sure,
and what-
sure.
How things could be shot versus the newer one,
No, well, it's not. No, I mean, I love the visuals. I just didn't like the whole with the androids. It's not about how they were filmed. Just the whole kind of weird, the room with all the dolls. It was just very unusual. I love the new Blade Runner. The old one is just too much like
More practical.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about the filming, not the practical
No,
elements.
I mean, I'm not talking about the fact. I'm talking about the story. The story in Blade Runner 2049 is just kind of more straightforward and kind of practical. There's a lot of high concept stuff in the original that that's.
Yeah, it took me. So
I like them both. I got to admit though, I mean, 2049. I just love that movie.
So I think Ben and I
seen it in IMAX was amazing.
So Ben and I are the same age, and it's same thing.
Oh, okay.
Right? I think it's a generational thing, right? So I'm 41, about to be 42. So like, I
happy
think.
birthday.
Well, not me.
Little
Like,
early.
Night, Kelvin.
That's in March. I still got a couple months. But what I'm saying is that for Blade Runner, for example, like obviously, it was one of those movies that I was late on watching. I told all you guys here on Collection Wars, right? When
You fell asleep.
and it took me like 5 tries to actually watch it. Every single time.
The plot. I mean, it's a good plot, but it is told. It is the pacing in that.
It's
movie
a comfort
is very
movie.
slow.
It's one of my comfort movies.
Oh no, it's a great movie,
Yeah.
but I mean, for somebody just watching it for the first time, who's uninitiated in it, the plot is very slow.
Well, a lot of movies
It's very
are slow.
near. It's very
slow
near
back
the
then.
release of like Alien, and I can't find any fault in the original Alien. I love the original Alien.
See, Ben, I fell asleep 3 times watching the original Alien.
Oh my gosh!
You gotta watch. I love the director's cut of that one and the sequel, Cameron's sequel, Aliens. Oh my god!
I actually like Alien better than Aliens.
They could not seal themselves off. There's a whole plot line of they knew they weren't secure. And
really? With the remaster,
when they eat, the smart guns. They get down to like 2 bullets, and the aliens realize that they
the one was
off.
dry, and the other one had 15 rounds, I believe.
Yeah, it was really low. And
Speaking of, did you guys see all the stuff they have for the new props for auction from Alien?
Well, did you see the
good conversation, Joseph?
Did you see the jacket? What it sold for from Blade Runner? I was wondering if that would come up.
No.
187,000
Oh, yeah.
pounds.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
And
Yeah,
the-
There was
the-
there was Roy Batty's jacket. It was
Yeah,
the one
Wow.
Rucker Hauer wore.
See if I
yeah,
can.
But it was
the
showing the
realized-
orange.
The
was
realized
showing the
estimate
orange.
was 30 to 50, and it was
It
pounds.
went for 187,000.
No, 287 or 260.
No,
What?
it was 187.
What
Are you
was?
sure? I
Yeah,
thought it was
the
close to a
jacket.
quarter.
Here, I'll pull them up.
What are you
Did-
talking
You
about?
might be looking at dollars, and he's looking at
I
pounds.
think- Yeah, well, I'm
Christopher
guessing.
Reeve
Yeah,
sell
I'm
it?
also probably thinking when it was $1.20 to the pound, $1.30 to the pound. Now all of a sudden it's almost 1-to-1. So I think that probably
Right.
just throws me off.
Yeah.
So did the Superman, Christopher Reeve Superman sell yet?
That might be.
I did not look.
Is that the end?
Oh wow.
Might be. Let me see. You want me to search?
I'm just curious because that's gonna be one. And then they have that Tauntaun. I don't know if you guys saw
Yes.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw it on top.
What's the
Are
Tauntaun?
you? Is the filming miniature the Star Trek miniature? Are they shipping that straight to your house, Joseph? Or
You know, it's really funny.
I almost sent it to you, and then I was like, okay, he's seen it.
I've seen it, but
Yeah.
it's funny because that's my least favorite ship from Star Trek. But the fact that Greg Jean did it, yeah, has it sold?
Did sell.
What did it go for?
Ooh.
Let me
Wow.
see. Let me log in really quick.
Okay,
Yeah, there's the jacket.
Gabe's been bidding on all this stuff.
I've bought. Yeah, I've purchased
I
some
know.
like little things, but like I rarely do the auctions because the hammer fee's like 25%, and then
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
the shipping is just insane on this.
Yeah, but I mean, just imagine a
So there
Christopher
were-
Reeve. Yeah, that's. I just watched it again a few nights ago.
So the only
Show
things,
password.
yeah,
Sure.
the only things I've
Well, I'll
bought
log
from
in
Prop
and just
Store.
start bidding on shit.
Yeah, all of a sudden I start getting a shipping notification.
You owned, you bought, you won.
It's only
Yeah.
money.
312,000, 312.5 thousand pounds.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yikes.
So the only thing I've bought from Prop Store is I did a few years back get some stuff from Prometheus.
Ah, okay.
But I love the iconography. So anything, I got some decals and data plates.
28,000 for this little piece of, but this one's actually screen matched.
Yeah, they did
that the
screen
one-
match it.
Is that the one that what's his
Yeah.
name holds?
No,
The
it's
guy.
right, it's like right next to him, right? It's like
Is
No,
that
I think
One
he's.
where
I think he's
they
holding it.
added
Yeah.
guitar and
Yeah.
just makes him a jerk.
yeah,
oh yeah, this is the one that makes him a jerk.
yeah.
That's funny.
That's
Yeah.
I mean that's pretty iconic. That's a big that's a good piece.
Yeah, it is.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, I forgot Richard Pryor was in
Richard
that.
Pryor.
Yeah, Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
That was so funny when he comes up with the thing. He was like stealing like the half cents, and he comes up with this huge check, and they're like, Robert Vaughn is like the head of the company, and he's like, "Oh, this guy's too smart. He's gonna be discreet. We're never gonna find him." And then Richard Pryor just drives into the parking lot in a Ferrari.
Ferrari. Oh god.
Oh my God.
Matt, is that your favorite? Is that your favorite Superman part?
No, no.
Come
Mike.
on, now. Don't be bullshitting me now.
Oh,
I mean, it's fine. I love Richard Pryor. His stand up was the best.
Yeah.
I love like Silver Streak. The movies he did with Gene Wilder were.
I
just
love the
amazing.
toy.
Oh,
The two
I
of them
agree with you.
together.
That pair
I mean,
was
Oh
awesome.
God.
The
Gene
toy
Wilder.
and
I was
Busted Loose.
even though, yeah, Bustin' Loose was good.
Yeah.
But I mean, my favorite was I still think with like Gene Wilder, and still is like I go back to like Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles. Blazing Saddles has to be one of my favorite movies of all
I
time.
love Young Frankenstein.
I still laugh as hard at the jokes in Blazing Saddles as I did the first time I saw it.
I know those are iconic, but I can't stand those.
Gabe,
Oh my God.
You
Gabe,
can't say
could you look up?
that couldn't run Blazing Saddles today.
Oh, I
Everybody
know.
would be
It's
offended. with all that.
Blazing Saddles is going to be on network television Sunday night. It's going to run from 8 o'clock to 8:07.
Gabe, did you bid on the Yoda? No.
Right? 53,000 for the robes.
It's just the robe. What about that Padme blaster? How much did that go?
100,000. 93.
93,000 for something from the prequels?
Man,
Not
that's
knocking the
crazy.
prequels, but how much
It's
did
kind of-
Qui-Gon's lightsaber go?
I think
It's
that
kind of
was-
funny
I
when
think
you
that was
think
a
about
Natalie
it.
Portman fan more than a Star Wars fan
Yeah,
who bought that.
Even though it's screen used, which is what it's all about, but I mean, a lot of this stuff is built like crap, right? Because
Yes.
it's just to be used
Yeah.
on the screen.
That's why I won't buy
And
screen
it says
used
Christopher
stuff.
Nolan.
The Vader gloves.
Oh wow.
Look at the Revenge of the Sith. Obi-Wan saber, 125,000.
How much do the Vader
I got
gloves
one.
go
I
for?
got one in the garage.
$256,000 for these
Jesus
gloves.
Christ.
Wow.
That's crazy.
$250,000.
No,
Gabe,
thanks.
Gabe, they were also selling an ET.
Oh, those sketches. Look at a sketch.
Oh yeah, I'll look at the T.
Oh wait, how much did that Death Star tile go?
12,000 for that sketch.
33.
Wow.
33,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at
That's
this.
unbelievable.
Oh no, Charles Lippincott
Yeah,
concept.
that's awesome.
That's crazy. Yeah, so they were supposed to
be.
be selling an ET. I think they were expecting it to go for over $1 million, right?
Yeah, I'll look
Oh,
right now.
easily.
Let me see. I don't know if it's.
It was one of the animatronic ones that was
Yeah,
used.
and it was all.
I never
tore up.
saw that. I didn't see that one, Joseph. I know you mentioned it.
Yeah.
I just want to see anything crazy. Oh look, a type. Oh no, this is.
Hey,
the
the TIE
old-
pilot.
This is no. I think this is the Don Post mold, right?
No.
Yeah, it was created from an original mold, but didn't even sell, or it didn't hit the
Meat
reserve.
reserve.
Yeah, did you see the Vinyl Cape Javelin for 35 grand?
35 grand.
And I bought that thing just like that for $900.
Oh my God.
Did you take it out of the package?
No,
Oh, okay.
Oh, the Yoda hand.
There's a tauntaun.
and
Yeah,
the
there's a tauntaun.
tauntaun, that's just the face, the
90.
appliance.
93,000.
Well, the Tauntaun was funny because it was built from the same mold or using the
Right.
same mold, but it wasn't
Mhm.
screen used. I think he did have a pair of eyes that were cast by Freeborn.
Mm-hmm.
I think the
But-
face was too.
No, the
right?
face, the appliance is.
The appliance was is all
Yeah.
pretty
Didn't
much.
Didn't Robin have this? Oh, I
she
wanted.
did. I was just thinking about her.
Yeah, like 6 grand. I was honestly thinking about bidding on this. I wanted this so bad. It's the
The
blueprint.
Bespin?
No, it's the blueprint of Boba Fett's rocket,
Missile.
Oh yeah.
and it was 5,000 pounds.
Jesus.
I mean, that's,
Would you have paid that now knowing?
yeah,
Yeah.
I would have.
Wow.
I mean, that's such a cool piece, man.
Hey, look at that.
C-3PO hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is cool. Look
TIE
at
fighter.
an ILM crew gift, 10 grand.
Yeah.
Oh, look, the slave. I wonder. This is
Yeah.
Is this
84 grand for that?
Is this Gus? This isn't Gus Lopez's, is it?
No, I don't know, but I
They
was
were talking about there's quite a few of those made. I think it was like 8 of them, right? 6 or 8.
Oh, production used.
Right, and I thought that was
Because they even made more as she lost weight. So I think there's
Yeah.
a number of them made.
I
'Cause I think she was down like 87 pounds during filming.
Is that the
Good
one
Lord.
where is that the one where she's on the beach in the water?
Yeah.
The Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, by the
Yeah.
way, Ben, I mentioned you earlier. I don't know if you can see to my left here is the Cloud City.
Yes. Okay. Well, okay. So I have been up for about, 20 hours
Oh, that
straight.
shirt.
I had
Oh,
an
yeah, that's cool.
early photo shoot. And I
Uh-huh.
came home and I was like, okay, I am so exhausted. I came home and had to work some more. And I was laying on the couch a little bit, had some bourbon and
Nice.
had a couple of old fashions. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to lay down and rest. And I wake up to Robin playing the episode and I hear Joseph's voice. I'm like, what's going on? And Robin's like, nothing. All your friends are online. I'm like, oh, son of a gun. So I got up. I was like, plugging in the lights, getting the camera ready.
Did you see this? This is kind of ridiculous. I
Yeah,
mean,
because it's the Mandalorian one.
'cause
Right.
it's,
Oh, yeah.
it's
Yes.
just
501st.
it's a fan made one. It's a 501st fan made one, but just happened to be on the screen. Remember they called all the 501st.
Yeah, that was it was chapter 8.
But look
Well,
how much,
both the last 2 episodes. of
How much did it go
season
for?
7 and 8.
That's absurd.
$47,000. I mean,
Oh,
Well, whoever bought it doesn't understand that or
yeah,
realize
you're
it.
right.
but I
Because
mean,
don't forget, we were joking about in the 501st. At least some of the background stormtroopers were carrying rubies painted black.
Mhm.
So technically, you could have a rubies,
Right,
like
I
a
mean-
$12, $15 rubies painted black, and come up as a screen used Mandalorian blaster.
I mean, that's what it
Mhm.
says right here, though. Look, it's created
Yeah.
by the 501st Legion, a fan group dedicated to creating screen accurate Stormtrooper, and it was worn in season 1 episodes, The Reckoning and Redemption. So Just because,
And even then, it says appeared throughout the series. That's actually not true. The ones that were all Sandies were not 501st.
Right.
Those were Rogue One TK's variants that were weathered.
Yeah.
And then they only had 501st in 7 and 8. But
that's crazy to me.
That is.
That droid went for how much?
One
Gabe?
born every minute.
75 grand.
yeah,
85 grand.
Well, I don't understand who would spend that
13
kind of money
grand
on
for
something
that.
without reading the descriptions and understanding what's going on.
Somebody that's got enough money, they don't care.
they want it to be displayed in a corner office somewhere.
Right.
You know, if nothing else.
Maybe it's a tax write-off. I don't know.
I mean, I just get a mannequin
All
and
right,
put
so
my
what am I
Nova
to
suit
call
in the corner.
ET, right? Let's see.
Yeah.
ET, yeah. I don't know if it's prop store or if it's a different
Oh
option.
yeah, it was ET. I think I saw the head.
Oh, that, by the way, I love that. Did you see that?
Discovery Pod? Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
the 2001 pod. Ugh.
20 grand.
I wonder how much
Oh,
the alien
Orion
ship went
3.
for.
That's
Well, the
actually
thing
not
is, there's,
bad. I thought
there's very little left from 2001. I mean, they destroyed most of the models, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, there's another thing when we're talking, going back to the whole moon conspiracy thing. That was one of the things about, they said Stanley Kubrick was filming that
did.
because he was filming 2001 at the time, and there's that whole scene where they're on the moon with the monolith
Right.
and stuff, and that's why he got
That's
roped in
great.
all that.
81,000 pounds for the hat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Brett's hat.
That's crazy. 81.
Tom Skerritt wore or whatever.
No, it was
Brett.
what's his guy?
That guy.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen that change hands a few times in the past.
Well,
Right.
just these auctions are just getting insanely.
They are.
I mean, it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
ridiculous now.
Well, the older the stuff gets,
No,
Fashion
but even
is
just
in.
like in the last 2 years, like just because I really got involved in this community for a little while. Like I was all about like I'm like, all right, I'm done with prop replicas. I'm gonna move on, and I do. I have a lot of screen use stuff like around the house, and I mean, it used to be affordable to the point where look, you can get like some like iconic Marvel pieces where you'd get them for like 20 grand, 30 grand, like iconic pieces. Now it's like the same, like $100,000.
So I will say it depends on where you get it from, because like prop store, everyone talks about whenever they have an episode, you don't even have to keep an eye out. Just
Hey, what did that go for? Go back up, Gabe, real quick.
The
That
drop ship.
Yeah.
I always love that thing.
125,000.
yeah.
Yeah.
112
That'd be
for the
cool, right,
rifle.
Joseph, to have that one.
Yeah, but let me ask you guys a question.
Let's look
So
for
that X-Wing that just sold at the last auction was the Pyro X-Wing, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that, obviously it wasn't screen used. It was. Tell me, what did that go for? 1.2 million or something?
Yeah,
Something ridiculous. Yeah.
Okay, a couple years back, the Tantive 4 model, the actual filming model of the Tantive 4, the first shot from A New Hope, sold for 325,000 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, think about
There's
the
ET.
difference there, right? Okay, there's the ET. What did it sell?
That's a
25.
Universal Studios one.
Oh, okay, no.
Yeah.
They were supposedly one of the screen used ones, but I don't know who
Yeah,
was selling that.
How is
you know
that
what?
not
It might have
Steven
been
Spielberg's house?
Oh, there's the Star Trek one. What did that go for?
68,000. 68,000.
No,
Yeah,
I
that
think that's
got-
a different
they
one. This one's
overpaid for
light
that.
up, and the other one he was talking about Savage. You're talking about the next one down here, right? Oh, this one was
Next
unsold.
Generation.
Yeah, they're both from Next Generation. Let me just hold on.
Yeah,
one
but the
second.
one that Savage reviewed
That's
with
the-
them was not a light up.
No, this is not. That's the Enterprise D.
Here, I'm gonna put it so you could see. Can you see it
Thank you,
better?
David.
Unsold.
Yeah, it was unsold.
No, that's not the one that we were looking at. That's the D.
Okay.
I want to see the C, the one that Adam Savage reviewed, the one that Greg Jane built. This one I don't know
right.
who did this.
So it's probably the light up one, right?
No, the light up. The other one
They're
didn't.
both light up.
Mm-mm.
Let me see. Can you
Yeah, I'm
enlarge that one? Oh, that's it. That's the C. I guess they lit it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it looks like the one. Yeah.
Because they got in there at the mounting points and like, oh, there's
Right.
wiring in there. He said, I'd be tempted to wire it up for you. He said, no, I shouldn't. I really shouldn't. But
Yeah.
I guess they got it lit up.
no. They might be.
Wait,
fake.
wait.
These are fake, like superimposed lights.
I don't think it's superimposed. That's a star filter in front of the lens of the camera. So that takes a light source and makes
Yeah,
it
because
that
if you look at
perfect.
the nacelles, they're lit
They're
up.
too perfect. Look at them. Like they're like.
Yeah, but I think that's a star filter.
No, I know what a star filter looks like, but these are just too. It's too perfect of a like star. So that's the only reason I'm saying they might just be super.
Yeah, but if you look at the engines and stuff, those are lit up.
Yeah,
So-
the engines for
the
sure.
lit up. Yeah,
Oh wow. So it sold for
there's interior lights on that.
But maybe.
it was 56,000. I didn't catch the price.
80. Oh, 68,000.
68,000.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's see
Now,
if we let's.
I think the stuff is going really high on prop store because it's garnering so much attention.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
see
get a lot
things
more
go on like I think was it Hero Prop, and there's several other websites that
Mhm.
obviously are not as well known.
Heritage.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
There's
they're
a
not, but some of the things that are selling there are selling for less than what a regular found. I mean, one of the I was watching some of the props a couple years ago, even like a year and a half ago or so, from like what was the
Whoa.
Johnny Five.
Wait.
Oh, God, I remember that movie.
287.
287 for the Johnny Five. No, go back. I was going to say the Bible from Shawshank Redemption. How much
Yeah.
did that sell for?
That was the highest sell. 387,000.
Jeez.
387,000.
That's insane.
That's the one that has the cutout, right?
Unbelievable.
The hammer.
I want to meet the people that are buying this stuff and see if they want to adopt another son.
See, here's the thing, Scott, is that these people, the people that buy this stuff, you never get to see these things or those people or know who they are. They're certainly not on the YouTube shows with us.
There's the coat.
Yeah, there's the blade in the coat.
Yeah,
Cool thing about the
exactly.
coat is the
100%.
back was never seen. This is the first time
Oh, that's badass.
the back
Yeah, it
was
is.
never seen
Well,
on film.
I personally like seeing the orange pop through, even though it was all black for the movie. I think it looks cool.
So
like
which
that.
is that? Who? What's his
That's
face?
Rutger Hauer's.
That's what Rutger Hauer.
Badass, dude.
Probably got ruined in the rain.
So it's very similar. Remember a few years back, the original bag from Mary Poppins, same kind of a thing. It was given away as a prize on some contest. It was like Nabisco or something, and they never knew what happened to it, and it turned up. And I think they also said it was going to sell for like 50,000 estimated. Didn't it go for like over 100, 160 or something? It was crazy.
Well, Ben, do you remember the movie? All that stuff that came out of that bag? I mean, come on.
It's true.
That's a lot of stuff.
But you know what's if you have Disney Plus, they have a prop disc, show, and they talk.
What
about
did it sell for?
I don't remember what it sold for, but they loaned it.
No, the jacket. The jacket we were just
jacket?
looking at.
187,000.
187,000.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
Sorry,
James
Gabe,
Bond,
go ahead.
UPK. I was like, oh my god, I would love to have that from GoldenEye.
100 and what?
162,000.
Jeez, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of crazy.
This is
That's
crazy too with the filming prosthetics. It's like, come on, you're literally just buying the little prosthetics. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
Like,
For Pinhead, you just buy the pins. They don't give you anything else. You just pins.
right. That's funny.
I know. Like, but some of these things,
It's help fun. It's just to hit you a box of nails.
The one piece that I regret not trying to get in one of these auctions was they had Doc Brown's the head.
There's
the
a
helmet that he-
cinematic tour de force.
the helmet that he wore in the original Back to the Future, the one that's supposed to read minds, the contraption that he built.
I
They had
remember
that
you
for-
wanted that thing.
this
Huh?
is bad. This is sick.
And that one went for like $20,000.
The salad bowl? Wow.
No, not the one that's made out of metal and it had all the light
Yeah,
bulbs on.
looked like a
Terminator
giant
colander.
salad
Yeah.
bowl.
Yeah.
Is that Terminator?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Terminator 2. That's a badass one.
How much did that go for?
87.5.
Because it's like you got a couple things. One, the cost of this stuff, but then materials, and you've got to protect it somehow so that it doesn't continue to deteriorate. Any of it,
sold
you know?
Wilson?
I'm sure Tom Spina, like as soon as these go up, like Tom Spina's like eyes are like
I can help you.
glowing. Yes, like send them my way. I'll restore them for you.
Well, here's the Scott. It's buying one of these things. It's like buying a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
If you can afford it, you don't ask how much it gets per mile or whatever for gas.
Oh yeah.
And you don't ask
$10,000 for the
costs to fix.
clutch. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. The
Oh,
Kroll
look at that
thing,
glaive.
that was kind of cool.
Yeah, the glaive. The
Oh, they had an
56,000.
Oh, that's crazy. Look at the Way of the Dragon, Bruce Lee.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Wow.
56,000.
Yeah, now you're talking.
They
Well,
sold
and
an
if you
all-black
notice,
sport
most things
helmet.
sold for just over whatever they estimated them to be.
Yeah.
So people, I think, are shopping. I was like, oh, hey, they say it's going to be worth 50. I'll bid 50 or 58. You know, it seems like most things.
Fraggle Rock. Oh,
A
that's
Fraggle puppet went for 50 grand.
Oh,
jeez.
jeez.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. Yeah, these clapperboards.
Oh my god.
Nuts.
Yeah,
That's
Something
crazy,
from Short
right?
Circuit 2 went for 50 grand.
Mhm.
Hey, Gabe, it's crazy, right? How many of those clapperboards Gus Lopez has
I know.
from the Star Wars ones? God.
And I think it's just like anything. It's just like vintage, right? It's like
Yeah.
if you got in this hobby in the 90s, I mean, people could have some iconic pieces, right? Because you remember whenever you'd fly, you remember inside of the in-flight magazine, there was always an advertisement for screen-used props. I don't know if you guys remember that, but you can get
Yeah.
props relatively cheap. I mean, I remember seeing Terminator's jacket and like things like that in those catalogs.
Mhm.
And I mean, you could get them for, $3 grand, or something like that. It's
Well, remember, what was her name? Carrie Fisher's mother. I'm blanking on her name.
Debbie Reynolds.
Debbie Reynolds.
Reynolds, right? How many things did she pull out of the trash? Like Marilyn Monroe's iconic white dress and stuff like that. Like, this stuff should be saved.
Yeah.
What did that Excalibur one go for? That gold mask?
The mask.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah.
43,000.
Man, I remember when I was a little kid, my
That's a
dad and
great
my
movie.
brother took me to see that movie.
Yes.
He
There's
was
so many
scary
iconic
looking.
things in that. That's scary. Yeah.
That's
that's
a great movie. I got that on DVD.
I
that
love
movie.
the music. The
Oh, I always
sound.
loved the Arthur legend.
Wait.
Anyways,
Yeah, me too.
Gabe, could you go back to the Lawrence of Arabia gun? How much did that go for?
40,000.
grand.
Yeah, but
And
that's-
The Empire Strikes Back.
Hoth
Rebel Trooper went for 40,000.
Also 40 grand.
And
Wow.
Supergirl's dress for the same price.
Yeah, all of them.
wow.
That's something else. God. So can you filter that stuff by
Yeah.
by price, high to low? To
Yeah,
see
that's
the
what
most
I have. I have it on high to low.
Oh, and what was the most expensive thing?
It was the Bible.
Oh, it was the Bible. Okay.
The Shawshank. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I would need the
See-
rock
let's see
hammer
what
to
the
complete
lowest-
that thing.
Let's see what the cheapest thing was.
Oh, I see something. Jen Urso.
Yeah, but it didn't sell.
Oh.
The Jen Urso one?
Cheapest,
Really?
I think it's too
Did
soon for that
vicious.
stuff.
Is it just from Anovos?
I know, right? Just a bunch of T-shirts and posters and. Oh look, the Force Awakens prototype pencil case.
Oh, geez.
150.
Someone bought that?
Yep.
Yeah.
They overpaid.
Black
It's a pencil case, for God's sakes.
It's a prototype. Oh look, here you go. The aliens drop the missiles, 500 pounds.
Well, whoever bought the dropship hopefully picked those up.
I know,
I
right?
would
Man,
think
I gotta
so.
complete it up.
Yeah.
Well, it was like the one from the Mummy, the Book of the Dead, and then the thing that was supposed to open it.
They
Those were split up again.
Actually, what you
you
should
know.
do is get the, have a commission power loader and hold
Hey.
the missiles.
Guys, wait a second. We gotta pause for a second because we're about 30 seconds away from Michael's birthday.
What?
Oh.
So We
We're
should-
2 hours into it here.
No,
man.
right? We should do this countdown. Hold on, let's see if
Oh, come on.
let me see if they'll let me do a countdown. No,
Oh,
it's
that's
not.
fine.
But I'll tell you guys as soon as it. Actually, maybe. I'm gonna say,
Man.
come on, let's do this. Let's do this.
Mike, are you going to start collecting Social Security now or what?
Oh,
All right, happy
He's got 10
birthday,
years on it.
Michael.
Happy birthday, Michael.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday
to
to
you.
you.
I'm not singing. I will do you.
Yeah,
Your
please.
gift will be me not singing.
Good work.
There you go.
thank you
Happy
guys.
birthday. Now officially, yeah, we had to stay on.
Michael, do you say your birthday in like BBY or how do you do that? Do you...
Yeah,
Oh, jeez.
Damn.
before Spaceballs and then after
Oh.
Spaceballs.
That means a lot. Thanks,
53.
guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
of course.
man.
Y'all are my brothers. Thank you.
Happy
I
birthday.
remember we did this a
Michael.
year ago. We all got drunk.
Hey, well, it's like what Gabe says. I
Just
don't
like any
remember
other
it being
day.
a
It
year
was like
ago.
3 sheets of the wind.
It feels like really quick.
Yeah, like 7 months ago, maybe 6 months ago.
You know,
Doesn't
you know
feel
what's
like a year.
cool though? At 53, I'm buying toys. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm living life and loving, at 53. You know, there's a lot of people at 53 who are,
So I got to get my act together in the next 11
So,
years.
Michael,
That's what
yeah.
you're saying, right?
yeah.
Michael, what would you tell your 40-year-old self if you could go back?
Oh, buy more shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Buy more shit. Hurry up.
Oh, that's funny.
No, I don't know, man. I wouldn't change anything.
Yeah.
Nothing I
Good
would
answer.
change. There's no way. Mm-mm.
Armando says 53 is the new 43.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
I am getting a little. So I was telling my wife earlier, my wrists are kind of achy. Like something. I'm thinking
From
what's
going
going-
like this too
Yeah, I was
much.
gonna say if you keep
Oh,
doing that,
no.
you're gonna go blind.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
His hair is
You're already wearing glasses, dude.
I know it
start
sucks.
pulling the hair out of them.
Sucks, man, that. But I'll tell you what, I've been. What's been so fun about the last, since decided to go on this Dark Side Brick Oven Pizza Company journey is building all these cool ass different prop replicas and stuff, and collaborating with a lot of you cats, and it's just seeing it all come to life. This journey has just been a badass, enjoyable ride. You know what I mean?
It's
the
been
DeLorean-
enjoyable for us. I can't even come close to what you guys are doing. To watch what you're doing, see
Yeah.
the new
it's
things that you
amazing.
got is awesome for us too.
Yeah, and I love sharing the experience.
Mhm.
That's why we do it. But it's just really cool, and it's going to be a place. I mean, think about it. I mean, I don't even think about it, but I'm creating a place where people can go to and see shit that they could never see normally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That even at Disney or Universal or any of that shit. That's why I want everything to be done so right. And then be able to have some really good food and get fucking plastered if you want. But I think it's a really cool thing, and I hope that, everybody is, enjoys it as much as I do. But it's getting real now, though. Things are really starting to happen, so it's cool.
I'm getting excited. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It's awesome stuff, dude. It's
It's funny because, this whole build in my welder is getting ready to scat out because it's killing deer season on Friday, and I'm like, dude, y'all can't stay like 2 more hours and get my Wampa platform built. They're like, all right, dude, we'll get that done. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like excited, about that little. Now I can finally. This Wampa's been sitting in the shop down there for how long now, and now it's gonna be seeing this sumbitch.
Michael, you can store it at my place. I don't mind.
Just seeing the lighting and everything, it's just going to be so cool.
Michael, you're going to have to move that in there before they build the rest of the building, before they close it off.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be so much fun setting up props in there. You know what I mean?
It's going to be great.
Yeah. So where I'm at right now, Joseph, is Antonio, my framer.
Mm-hmm.
He's coming in 2 weeks. I've already got my lumber count and everything. And I've got to create all of each individual, Lee knows this, but I don't know if you guys remember, I built some of those boxes in my new addition at my house, and half of the shit didn't even fit in there. So
right,
it's important that I know good measurements,
and take lots of photos of all your wiring in the walls.
Yes.
Yeah, that's huge.
My
The
goodness.
lighting.
Even I wish
Yeah.
I did even more of that. And I thought at the time, like I was being smart, and it's like, man, no, I needed to take tons of photos. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what we did before we put up all the drywall here is actually filmed everything with a digital camera. And then I filmed each room, and now I have those videos. So now I just go back and I scroll through the video to the area that I need to know about, and everything's there, and I can follow all the wires and everything. So it's really very helpful.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I owe it to David. I got to make sure all my lighting's good on Yoda.
Yep.
That's the one thing I owe him. You know what I mean? But I just like the Cylon and all that stuff. It's just everything's going to have to be lit different. And it's going to be a challenge, but I like the R2 and stuff. I want it to be all come in where I'm not having to open like this Vader. I have to turn each one of those on, and I want to be able to hit a button and, have everything come on at once. And, so that's going to be one of the hardest things of the setup. Yeah. And also the Jaws, this huge Jaws that's getting ready to go in production, having a place to put that shit where people can get their picture taken with it, it's just man. So.
That's awesome. Well, I have to apologize. I'm gonna have to go. I want to see my wife a little bit before she goes.
Yeah, that's about time for us.
Oh yeah, no, we're wrapping. Yeah, we're wrapping.
Oh, okay.
We haven't had a 3-hour show in a little while.
I know.
Yeah. Right.
It's always good hanging out with you guys.
But Michael,
great to see you guys.
I'm sure from everybody out there and all our Collection Wars family, we all wish you a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, brother.
Health, lots of success this next year. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be a big one. So,
means a lot, Gabe. You don't have a clue how much that means. Thank you so much.
Excited to kind of just be there with you on this journey and see it all happen. And I know we're all going to be there for the grand opening for you.
Yeah, right. That's going to be the coolest thing ever,
Yeah.
Because we're going to open this thing up to you guys before I open it to the public. You know what I mean?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So.
Well, I'm very nitpicky about the details of the props. So, I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you and a couple other dudes. Yeah, but I love all you guys. And Matt, it's good to see you. Benjamin, thanks for hopping on. Scott.
Oh, I was glad. It was fun.
It's good to see you finally. And Joseph, always good having you hanging out.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. And Gabe, I love you, bro. Thank you so much for everything.
Hey, happy birthday again.
Yeah.
And
happy birthday, brother.
Thanks so much.
We'll see everybody next week. See you guys.
Look forward to it. Good night, guys. Good night, Joseph.
Bye-bye.
You're all clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing and go home.